Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we'll be doing a watch-along for WWE Payback. We have it on now. It's the kickoff show that started at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The main card will start at 7 p.m. And making his big entrance right now down the ramp, weighing in at whatever and...
Be generous.
Parts unknown.
Be generous.
I'll be generous.
As my wonderful back disability pillow has now been exposed, but we forgot we had to hit the button, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are well wherever you may be.
I didn't forget. But
you didn't forget. Well, you reminded me.
Yeah.
We'd probably still be sitting here as we spread the word near and far. This is the first time we've really done a pay-per-view watch-along. We attempted to have pay-per-views on in the background when Marty Jannetty was here, but
not much watching. Not much watching.
I don't know what Marty sees through his eyes, I guess maybe is the best way to put it. But we're going to have fun. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be a little more interesting than these bland kickoff shows that they have.
I don't know why they need to be an hour, but they do the half-hour ones for the NXT takeovers, and those seem to work pretty well.
I used to love the kickoff show. They called them countdown shows back in the golden era of 80s and early 90s pay-per-views. They do a great job building up the show, even at that point if you knew all the matches. But tonight's show, fans, I don't know what you think. I think it's kind of a needless pay-per-view. Some interesting matches they put together after what was kind of a lackluster SummerSlam. Of course, you can send us a message as I continue to try and get the word out a little bit on our social media outlets. If you're not familiar with Matt, he is hopefully going to take my place at someday, which would be nice. Someday, but not today because you're with me. And don't forget, at 11 o'clock tonight, Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, makes his Wrestling Insiders debut here in studio when he shoots on the late, great Ugandan giant Kamala. You're not going to want to miss it. It'll be much more interesting than the Payback kickoff show match, which I think will lose viewers. But if you are here, say hello. What do you think of tonight's show? Rick B, baby! Woo!
Here as always.
Marty is back in Georgia tonight. There are rumors via text message that Marty may pop into the chat tonight. And we may have some other surprises calling on the phone. So this is new to us. We're going to try and have some fun with it. To make these pay-per-views a little bit more interesting. Usually I'm at home working on a computer just like this with the pay-per-view on in the background, not paying much mind to it. Here at least, we get to talk with you guys, hopefully sell some great merchandise, promote the great talk shows we have coming up this week. We have a new guest that's going to be joining the Wrestling Insiders group on a weekly basis starting in, I believe, September. So we got some news on that coming up tonight. And we have WWE Payback at the Thunderdome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. One of my favorite cities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I like Orlando.
Yeah, we'll take over for a minute, brother. I can't kayfabe the glasses because I can't read what you guys say.
Yeah.
So this is...
I just think these kickoff shows are a little too long. I think a half hour is perfect because they're basically replaying...
Smokey! How are you, kid? Keep going.
They're basically replaying the same videos that we've seen for weeks, if not months, building up to these matches that they seem to do 3 or 4 times. Just tonight is basically just all rematches. Or stuff that's been done for a while. So I don't think you need to recap what was already done last Sunday.
Well, I have to say, I thought SummerSlam was kind of a boring show, but I really liked how it ended.
The ending was really good. I mean, the tagline for the show was "You never see it coming," but the only thing that was kind of surprising was the ending. Everything else was kind of, in line with what everybody thought would or could happen on the show.
Somos Latinos VIP. I don't recognize you, my friend. Tell us where you're from, what's going on tonight. We're happy to have you with us. If you guys could share this on your social media so we can have some new friends come on in here for the pay-per-view watch-along, even though it's kind of the kickoff show. I think it'll be kind of quiet until 7 o'clock. Are you guys at home watching? Rick, Smokey, our PGO, are you guys watching the pay-per-view now as we speak? And there is the Bray Wyatt that I don't like.
I don't really like the Funhouse. And then they had him.
No, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood version of Bray Wyatt.
With a little twist to it.
Little twist to it. Maria, 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 Maria. Do I need to start singing? It's not even. No, it's got to be 7 o'clock. I can only do it in prime time. She's going to send me a message later on.
What do you think of Strowman's new ring gear?
I don't like it and I don't dislike it yet. Does that make any sense?
He looks like a lumberjack.
Well, maybe that's what they're shooting for. The Braun Strowman of 2017 is lost as far as how over he was at that point, but that could be said for just about everybody on the roster. I'll ask you guys watching now, as I'm sure it'll come up during the main event later on, what do you think of this new Roman Reigns connection with Paul Heyman? I love the Roman Reigns attitude we saw at SummerSlam and the follow-up on television. I think a much more serious, angry, intense Roman Reigns is the way they're going to make the most money with him. I think kids will still like him with that type of an attitude, and I think more adult men will like him with that attitude. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's something that they should have done for years, right when he was out of the Shield. I think they should have made him, the top guy coming out of that. But after the Shield broke up, he won the Rumble, but then he went to WrestleMania, and then he got cashed in on by Seth Rollins in the main event. So he never really found his feet, and then he won the title at some Survivor Series later that year after Seth got injured with the title, and then Sheamus cashed in on him after he won the belt at Survivor Series against Dean Ambrose. That was in 2015. So both times in 2015, he was kind of at the top of the mountain. He got cashed in on. And then in 2016, he won the belt from Triple H. I don't know why he was in the Rumble that year. But I think now he's starting to get his pace back after.
Well, I believe he had to defend the title.
He defended the title in the Rumble.
In the Rumble, yeah.
And then Triple H won.
Right.
And then
that led to WrestleMania.
And then it led to WrestleMania.
Dallas, right.
And then he won the title back, which I don't know.
That was a nice weekend. I was in Orlando for that. That Royal Rumble.
2016 was Dallas.
Look at all, you know what I love more than anything is I look down at the chat. All of these fine folks making friends with each other. Rick B, Tina, Smokey, whatever your true name may be. Maria, I always butcher PGO88. So we're going to have fun tonight. I don't like this guy. What's his name?
Pete
Rosenberg? Yeah.
He's on.
He tries too hard.
He's on New York sports, talk radio all the time. Sometimes I'll watch it. I like JBL. He's a good.
I'll tell you what makes me happy, folks, and I know this is kind of a controversial opinion. That man to the left on your screen right now, John Bradshaw Layfield, a man that's joined us here in this very studio when he was the WWE Intercontinental Champion, believe it or not.
Was that 2009? He was.
Yeah, he was the Intercontinental Champ. He sat right here in this studio. He is a great man. I know there are things that have been reported about him on social media and in various shoot interviews. And you know what? Nobody's perfect. But I'll tell you this, from the JBL that I know, he's a very fun, funny, generous human being. For anyone that enjoys the tribute to the Troop Show each year, John Layfield was responsible for those events happening. John Layfield runs a nonprofit in Bermuda called Beyond Rugby Bermuda, which helps at-need kids not only have access to sports facilities, sport leagues, but also provides them with meals, lunches, and dinners. So JBL does a lot of great work. Sure, there are things you can point to that maybe don't paint him in the best of lights, but I paint him in a great light as he was here in this studio.
I've never met him in person. So
he doesn't want to meet you.
Oh, well. All right. Did you ask him that?
I did, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
11 years before you and I met. And he said, no, if you ever run into him, forget it.
Yeah. And then he retired at WrestleMania after he got beat by Rey Mysterio in about how many seconds?
Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah. This is way too many people for a kickoff panel. 5?
I just think an hour is way too long. I think you're right about that.
An hour is way too long, and you got 5 people on one panel to break down a show that we've seen how many times in the past couple months?
We've got 15 superfans with us live right now here on the official Boston Wrestling Sports YouTube channel. I know you guys have probably already plugged it already, but we're going to plug it throughout the show. Again, a man that does a little bit of strutting, a little bit of cutting, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, 11 p.m. here on this channel. He joins us for the very first time as we shoot on the late, great Ugandan giant, Kamala, who recently passed away, James Harris. And isn't it funny now that if you look at the world of politics, Joe Biden selected a running mate named Kamala Harris.
He passed away about, what, a couple days after she was nominated?
Yes.
She must have got a couple texts that day. And
I think people were worried when it said R.I.P. Kamala on Twitter. I thought they were worried.
She probably got a few calls from people.
They were probably worried Joe was going to be out a running mate at that point. But Kamala, another man that's been here in this studio. After Payback and all of our great shows, you can always check out the Kamala Studio Shoot Interview DVD, where we not only talk about his great career at great length, but he actually sings. Did you know Kamala sings?
I think you told me that one time.
Well, I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh.
But he does sing in this DVD as well. It's over on the Patreon for where a cup of Starbucks coffee, you can help keep professional wrestling legends working. Rick, I know you're here, buddy. Did you know that right now you have access to not one, not two, but 3 early episodes? If you've seen any of them, let me know what you think without giving away any spoilers. The Beefcake episode is online right now. This coming Tuesdays, Wrestling Insiders at Your House with Tony Atlas is available, as well as the September 8th Tony Atlas Wrestling Insiders, because the September 8th episode was originally going to run this Tuesday, but due to the passing of Bullet Bob Armstrong, Tony wanted to get that tribute online ASAP. So for you great Patreons that help keep the legends working, you get early access to 3 shows. It's a great deal.
I don't usually have any of the Patreon or anything like that. I only signed up for one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're a very fightful individual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. I have to itch my nose so bad right now. But where we only have one camera, I don't want the people at home to think I'm actually trying to go into the nose. You know what I mean?
Between the scratch and the pick.
Can I get away if I do it from the side?
Yeah, it's like that Seinfeld.
That's
episode.
I didn't remember that one. There was no pick. It was just a scratch. Keith Lee, a newcomer to the WWE main roster. What do you guys think of Keith? Are you going to bask in his glory?
Well, they have the intro to his music, but they change his music, and then might be changing it again tonight. You see his ring gear from Monday?
Yes.
His skirt or whatever that was?
I don't know.
Prancing around.
It was big. It was big.
Yeah.
Rick enjoyed all 3 of the episodes. That's great. I'm glad you liked them. Rick, you know what, Rick? I got to ask you, what did you think of the Ask Atlas September 8th episode? That's a little bit different than the usual wrestling style episodes, but I know we had a lot of fun with it. And I know my good friend Smokey, whose legal name is Tania, also subscribed. I saw you on there. Kiddo. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to get one past Stan Marathi, even though I usually don't wake up until noon. But you'd have to thank our good friends at Noel Salon, 347 down Pleasant Street, downtown Malden, Massachusetts, for the change in my sleeping schedule the past month. But we won't go there because I love those ladies.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Do I need the haircut yet? That's the question. That is the question.
I get mine done on Tuesday.
Now, where do you go?
I go to a new place called Good Rats Barber Shop in Milford.
Good Rats?
Good Rats Barber Shop.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
Good Rats Barber Shop.
Yep. In Milford, Connecticut. I have no idea.
That sounds like a place where the wrestlers should have gone in the 80s to get their haircuts.
Should have brought Marty last week.
I could see Marty enjoying some Good Rats.
I don't know if his rats were good.
Different rats.
Different rats.
You know, fans, maybe, I don't know if Marty's watching yet. Marty, if you're in the chat room, shoot us a message, because he sent me some very interesting pictures today. I don't know if he wants me to say what they are until maybe he's with us in the room. So, Marty, once you're here, I'm sure you have no problem typing away. And there's the boss, Sasha Banks, one of the most overexposed talents in 2020. And Bailey, do you agree with that, fans? Do you really need Bailey and Sasha Banks sometimes 2, 3, even 4 times a week?
And Sasha didn't do much in 2019. She took a little time off.
Yeah, she took that loss at WrestleMania 19 pretty hard.
Taking all that time
Very
off.
hard, yeah. I think she needed a little Dr. David Reese treatment. If El Presidente Dr. David Reese is watching live out in beautiful San Diego, California, say hello, doctor. Another thing to keep in mind, folks, if you're not following us on Twitter, we've got this great new program to try and raise funds for this program with official WWE t-shirts. Now, it's the same regular prices you'd find on WWEshop.com, but what we offer is not only the official t-shirt, but you're going to get an on-air shout out from Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders. You're also going to get an autographed Superstar or Legends photo, and you're going to receive an official WWE cup. You're probably looking at a retail value of somewhere in the vicinity of $1,000.
Well,
That's a little bit of a stretch, but that's a great value for just the price of the t-shirt.
Beats the hell out of the regular prices for the t-shirts, on the shop for WWE, because you get the shirt, but then you get all those other things included. Right. Then if you just buy the shirt on WWE Shop,
you get the shirt.
All you do is you get the shirt, and probably for more money.
No, it's the same price. Same price, but you get a cup, you get an autograph photo, and you get an on-air shout out, and most importantly, you get to know that you're going to help keep Wrestling Legends working. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a link in the little description box below. It's bostonwrestling.com/shirts.html. I think there's probably about 25 different authentic WWE shirts on there right now. Until we have the official Boston Wrestling, MWF Wrestling Insider ones with Tony, Marty, to support the show. We have some great friends in WWE that help make things happen when they send me on undercover missions sometimes.
Undercover?
I feel like Jesse Ventura is a Navy SEAL sometimes when I get those emails.
Are you good undercover? I don't know.
With this body, I have a hard enough time getting under the blankets at night, but that's a different story for a different time. As we're just 40 minutes away from WWE Payback. How much can these 5 individuals talk about a show that's been built up just over 7 days? You got to give these production folks a lot of credit in WWE. Whether they're working with grade A quality material or they're working with grade F quality material, to be nice, they produce great looking content. I mean, look at that. That's as good as any sport or form of entertainment you'd see right now. You have to give WWE credit for that. Whether you enjoy the in-ring product, whether you bore of the in-ring product like many of us in 2020, the production values are always first class.
They get better every year. You think like they can't get a step ahead, and they keep getting better with their production. Things like the Thunderdome.
It's like a fine wine. It only gets better with age.
Oh, the booking goes in reverse.
Well, it's been 19 years in the downward slope. You keep thinking it can't get any worse, but I wish we had a desk like that. Look at what we have for a set. Now, I like our background better than the Payback Kickoff show, but I like their desk.
You like it better than the Thunderdome?
I'd like to get a nice desk. That way I don't have to show off my legs.
What's wrong with them?
Well, you'd have to ask some of the female fans that watch the show. But I have a feeling they're not going to get many compliments. Just ask Linda Marotti.
Well, I don't know.
The villainous Linda Marotti.
The heel?
Oh, if you only knew. There it is, Raw Undercover. What's it called? No,
Underground.
Underground. Well, they're undercover too, I guess. I don't know. I think this one's getting old real quick. What do you guys think of Raw Underground? These 40-second work shoot fights. I like that they're trying to do something with our dear friends, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, but I don't know.
What do you think of the new United States title belt?
I don't like it compared. I don't think it's a bad-looking belt. I don't like it compared to the last one.
I like the last one. The last one they should have just tweaked up a bit, but a whole new one.
I also like the new Intercontinental Championship belt, but I like the old one better too.
What are you going to do? I have the old one sitting on my desk at home.
Well, you should have brought it for the set. You continue to contribute absolutely next to nothing other than your charming personality.
Oh, sure.
Dear Lord. Come on now. All right, I'm trying to find this link so we can share.
Here's our truth.
The 24/7 championship belt is something I would have done away with from probably the second day. Are you guys fans of the 24/7 championship belt?
Can't imagine who is. It's just a knockoff of the hardcore title.
A knockoff? What's a knockoff?
It's a second-rate. It's a second-rate hardcore title,
and it's an ugly title.
Yeah, I don't know where they got green from.
It's certainly not making him any green, that's for sure.
You like R-Truth?
I think R-Truth is a great kids character. I think if it should be presented more towards kids, I think one thing WWE misses the boat on, I would have a show just aimed towards young kids. Find 1 hour a week across, whether it be a televised or a WWE network platform, have a television show aimed towards, maybe elementary school kids exclusively and have some fun with it. I think R-Truth would be great for that. He's got such a great fun kids personality.
Like the little shows they do on the network. Some of those are nice, but I think when it comes to the stuff on TV and all that, sometimes it gets a little too childish and outlandish. But he is a good character.
That's being generous. Yeah. He's had a great run. Oh, wait a minute. What do we got here? Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones. Roman Reigns wins. They have saved you from watching another shitty WWE pay-per-view. Stephen, if I said your last name wrong, I apologize. Jay Fleming. Raw Underground is already dead. How do you really feel? Even if I agree with you. But it is nice to see something done with Shelton and Bobby. 2 first-class athletes, 2 badasses in real life, 2 great guys we've had here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, 2 blocks down the street at Memorial Hall. I don't know if you knew that.
I knew that.
Shelton, the former Millennium Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion.
That I knew.
Won it here in Melrose, and he lost it in your home state in Bridgeport, Connecticut, to Slick Wagner Brown.
Just a few towns down from me.
Yeah. Slick is suffering from the Vicente Rey Wasco virus. Did you know that?
No.
He's growing the girls, baby. He's got T-shirt duty when he's in the ring now, if you know what I mean, and I hate that. Who else do we got checking in tonight? Smoky Eyes, you like the Patreon too. You know what? We like you even more for that one. We like you even more for that one. This is going to be a great testament to my physical body sitting and watching this pay-per-view tonight. Because I taped this week between Marty for 3 days and Beefcake, over 24 hours worth of content. It had to have been.
Probably.
With Marty, we went from about 1 to 8 at least every day.
Some days it was later than 8 o'clock.
So I'm surprised I have a voice left at this point. But the CRPS is acting up in my foot, but I could not surrender. I could not cave to physical disability. I wanted to see you guys. I really didn't want to watch this, but I wanted to do a watch along. Marty was texting me at 2:30 in the morning last night for some unknown reason. I never know what to expect when this phone beeps or rings. Speaking of the devil, you know what? We got to reach out to a certain someone right now. We're not going to say who, but we're live.
We got a match coming up here.
Oh,
here we go.
All right, folks, if you want to get the blindfolds out, this might be the time for this female tag team war they have coming up. If this is the match I think we're going to see. I do a little commentary, kid. Talk, for Christ's sakes. I can't do it all.
I'm waiting for them to do it. I don't know. I think they're just going to recap Big E and Sheamus from this past week. You know, they had to build it up basically in one day. They built it up on SmackDown and then Talking Smack here.
Well, I tell you this, fans, if you want to help out this great program, maybe do a little early Christmas shopping, or if you have young ones around, if you want to reach out to the big man up at the North Pole, a dear friend of ours, we have this plaque available. And hopefully, the lights could be a little bright. We don't have a director tonight, thanks to a man named Glantz. Walter Hillside has been on an extensive summer vacation, so Walter hasn't been available. But Glantz, as you may know well from some of the Tony Atlas at Your House episodes, is MIA again, Glantz.
Or Goliath.
But this plaque is signed by all 3 gentlemen, Xavier Woods, Big E, Kofi Kingston. It is number 11 of only 20 made. There's only 20 of them. And it commemorates their lengthy tag team title run, all the different belts they've held. It has a piece of the ring from Battleground,
It's actually two. Yeah, there's
and
two
it has a
pieces
piece
right
of the ring from SummerSlam. So 2 canvases from pay-per-view rings, plus it's signed by all 3, and it's a limited edition of 20. I haven't even put this on eBay yet. I want to offer it to you guys first. If you're interested in this for the holidays, your man cave, it hasn't even been opened yet. It's still shrink wrapped, which is why it looks kind of eh. I also have this one right here as I try not to knock everything over. This is each year, WrestleMania week, they have a superstore. If you've never been to a WrestleMania, it's almost like a shopping mall filled with nothing but WWE merchandise. And one thing they do is they have a limited number of autographed photos of each superstar based upon the number of the year. Well, this year, WrestleMania 36, they didn't have a superstore because they really didn't have a WrestleMania for fans to go to. This was one of 36 Bray Wyatt, the Fiend autograph photos. I believe number 34 of 36. Not only is it the photo, but it's already framed and matted. It's still shrink wrapped, brand new. It hasn't been hung up. We're just putting it out tonight. We haven't put it in the eBay store yet. We wanted to see if any of you guys wanted first crack at it, because if you get some of the great merchandise we have on eBay through us direct, eBay doesn't take their big cut. And for some reason I don't understand, not only does eBay take a big cut of the sale, they take a cut of the shipping and handling. Why do they take a cut of the shipping and handling? Because you only have to charge the folks purchasing the item more. I think that's it's a little cold. It's a little cold, eBay, if you're watching. Here we are reliving the horror show that was Extreme Rules, not as far as the content of the wrestling, but the booking of the wrestling. It was a horror show with that eye removal of Rey Mysterio. Have you guys enjoyed Dominic Mysterio as of yet?
I don't think he's been too bad. I think little force at, first time doing a feud in WWE. I forget how old he is, but he's still pretty young.
I think the biggest mistake they made was having Seth Rollins sell too much for him. I think for a former multi-time world champion to look that much in danger from a early 20s Dominic Mysterio, I don't know. Harry Simmons, do you guys sell women's wrestlers in-ring worn panties? I'm looking to buy. Harry, unfortunately, no. We do not have any used panties here in Boston Wrestling Sports. Vicente Ray may have some of his bras available. I don't know. And maybe Slick. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe. Put those up on the eBay.
Todd Chambers says the same thing. Would love to buy some Diva in-ring worn panties if you could provide. They haven't had those bra and panties matches in WWE now for the better part of, 10 years or so?
Longer than that.
Longer than that.
Because they went...
It'd be some old panties at this point.
They went PG in 2008, 2009?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they probably haven't had one since 2006 or 7? So if you buy those,
they may need a wash.
Yeah, you might be down by the beach if you buy one of those.
Guys, overall, what do you think of having a pay-per-view tonight? Just 7 days removed from SummerSlam. Other than perhaps the triple threat main event, no real need for any of these matches right away. The only time I can remember a pay-per-view so close together, you old-time fans may remember this Tuesday in Texas, back in December of 1991, which took place 6 days after Survivor Series 1991, coming off the hot angle when Undertaker pinned Hulk Hogan to become WWF World Champion. Plus, they had the first Jake the Snake Roberts Macho Man Randy Savage match after Randy was bit by the snake, and he had retired earlier in the year at WrestleMania 7. So I don't think there is as much interest in Payback as there was this Tuesday in Texas.
No.
One man's opinion.
No. It's a bunch of rematches, or in this case, what they're reviewing now is the tag team match, the Mysterios versus Seth Rollins and Murphy tonight. It's been done to death. And then tomorrow night, we're going to see Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio again. Is it needed? My opinion, no.
See, Jay Fleming remembers this Tuesday in Texas. Hulkster blinded Taker with the black ashes from the urn. That was a hot night, and that pay-per-view led to, in my opinion, the greatest Royal Rumble of all time in 1992 when the World Championship was on the line. Any of the 30 men participating could have walked away with the gold. I don't know if you've seen Royal Rumble 92, but
Flair one, right?
Yes, from Albany, New York, as Scott Duffney would say, the Knickerbocker Arena. Where did I catch up?
I just remember the promo he did after.
Yes, that was a great promo. Jay Fleming, I developed my foot problem back in 2005 after I was in a car accident with the Iron Sheik. We were blown up by a drunk driver. And I think the most surprising part of that story is not only is it true, but the Sheik was actually a victim and did not participate in the actual accident itself. But again, a different story for a different time. Echelon says, hello, Marathi and guest. He is officially guest.
Just guest.
His name is Matt Degnan. He is a behind-the-scenes assassin, associate here in Boston Wrestling Sports. I'd love for him to take my spot so I don't have to be on camera constantly, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. He is a prodigy in the world of professional wrestling.
As I've been called. But
as he's been cool.
I've been called prodigy, guest, and man in the middle by Tony.
Yeah. That's what he's been cooled.
Cooled, yeah.
He's from Connecticut.
Southwest Connecticut.
Jay Fleming remembers Royal Rumble 92 is the greatest Rumble ever with a tear in my eye. That was a great night. I really enjoyed that.
There's Shorty G. Another lost soul in WWE.
I can't think of a Royal Rumble I ever anticipated more than the one in 1992. Great build-up to it. Now, Payback has been on the shelf now, what, 3 years or so?
The last Payback was in 2017.
That's what I thought.
And they started doing Paybacks in 2013?
That sounds about right, too. I have no real great Payback memories, believe it or not.
The only one that I rewatch all the pay-per-views before they happen.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
And I just watched them a few days ago, and there's just still nothing that sticks out. I think I remember one year, I believe it was Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in the main event.
Did they?
Yeah, wasn't even for a title. That's when Roman was the champion, and Brock was the champion, and he wasn't showing up. And then they did the Fatal 4-Way with the Shield and Randy Orton for the title.
I do remember that. I thought that one was very good. 15.
That was in 2015.
And didn't they do Roman and AJ Styles maybe in 2016? Was that a Payback main event?
That was it, because I was after Extreme Rules when the club got involved.
Yeah, and then now they're about as uninvolved as can you humanly be.
Here we go.
Here we go, baby.
I like Samoa Joe on commentary.
I think Samoa Joe's excellent on commentary.
I think he does. I like Tom Phillips. Byron Saxon I can do without. But I don't really like three-men booths for sports commentating.
I think Saxton might be better off as an interviewer type in the back.
Well,
as
interviewing
opposed
people
to
in catering, but
as opposed to little what's her name, Kayla. So, what do you think about your upcoming title defense tonight?
Sound like Lord Alfred Hayes.
And then when they walk off at the end, they just go. They stare the wrestler down for some reason. All right, here we go, baby.
The Riot Squad.
Oh, dear Lord.
Coming in. Oh, here we go. She looks like this.
The Riot Squad. Well, this won't.
Talk about total opposites.
This match will not confuse you with anything maybe you'd see in Japan, that's for sure. Ruby Riot's pretty good. She's a solid female competitor.
Liv is more the look.
The other three are a little bit on the soft side, so to speak. They throw those giant Barber-like right hands that don't look like they'd crack an egg, but we'll see.
Here come the Iconics. You like the Iconics?
No.
I don't. Oh,
no. They're about as bad as it gets, in my opinion. Horrible. Horrible. They look like they should be doing skits at an amusement park or something.
Wow.
I'm not an Iconics guy.
Peyton Royce is definitely a lot better than Billy Kay, but
I don't know which is which.
you know, all right.
Tell me, which one is Billy Kay?
Peyton Royce is the one on the right, and her significant other is Ty Dillinger / Sean Spears from AEW.
Billy Kay looks like she's going for the Paul Bearer 1991 makeup look right about now. There we go. They mean business tonight.
They're from Australia.
Really? I thought that was an accent from New Jersey.
Oh.
You see, I learned something new every time we talk.
Well, you didn't even know who was who. So
I knew the accent.
yeah.
And then
Some
there's
people
that
can-
referee that
John Candy.
she resembles John Candy from what someone told me. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Or Uncle Bob.
And there we go. Look at the Lord. Oh.
Oh.
And they wonder why the audience continues to decline year by year when you have, whoops.
Oh, that looked a little stiff.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Oh. Maybe these two teams don't like each other, huh? Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
well, you know what? I'll say this to try and pay them a compliment. They dress alike. They try and have some tag team maneuvers down. It's just the actual moves don't look believable. Liv looked a little surprised by that one. All right.
Gave it a surprise tag.
I mean, come on. Come on.
I don't know why this
Come
is the kickoff match. I don't even know why this is a match to begin with.
I really believe that WWE would best serve its audience that really loves the women's wrestling to give the ladies their own hour show. I would love to see the fan response to that, whether it be on USA, Fox, WWE Network. Let the ladies have their own program to do their thing. And for those that don't enjoy the female wrestling, like myself, a lot of the times, give them a male presentation, almost like NBA and WNBA. One man's opinion.
I would give them an hour show on the network to start out and see how it does with the network subscribers. If it does decent numbers, then you could try to see if they could move it, you know, into a TV deal, maybe, you know, cut Raw down to 2 hours. Then you could do the middle hour women's or something like that.
I wouldn't put it on in the middle, that's for sure.
Middle.
It would have to open or close if you were going to do it during Raw. And
if
I think
it's
that
gonna
would
open, I still don't. I think everybody's just going to tune in at 9 if it does the 8 to 9 hour.
well.
And then if it closes, you're definitely not going to get anybody because their third hour numbers are already as bad as it gets.
You've got to start somewhere, I guess. If you were to go with my idea, they may never go with my idea. They may scoff at my idea. They may never hear my idea, even though I've pitched it before. To me, this doesn't hold my interest. It's nothing against the ladies. They work hard, but I'm more interested to see what's going on the various TV screens. Will there be another Fire Velveteen Dream sign pop up on one of those TVs?
There's been a lot of things that have popped up on those screens.
Oh, Velveteen Dream has done a lot of popping up.
Or popping out.
Hopefully he'll pop out of WWE, but that's a different story for a different time.
We've got a lot of different stories for different days, I think.
Now, let me ask you this, fans. If these were the traditional days of pay-per-view and you were going to have to pay $60 to watch this from the comfort of your own home, would this match entice you in any way, shape, or form to buy the pay-per-view? I'm very interested to hear the answer to that from you guys.
I already know
Billy Kay looking like she's one of those geisha girls. All right, well, you guys should hijack a virtual fan screen with the video of Tony getting stepped on. I think that would be more interesting than this match.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
I wonder if Tony would like to be walked on by any of these four ladies. I bet he'd go for the referee.
Because she
kind of has she kind of has like a thicker shoe on. For whatever reason, Tony doesn't really care about the actual foot. It's the footwear, and he kind of likes an athletic shoe. Candy looks like she could be a little stiff, though. I don't know. I've never had a woman walk on me. And that's probably never going to change, but
you never know.
Linda just walked on my soul. That's all.
Oh.
And my wallet. But
Other than that, nope. She keeps kicking out at what, 1.5?
we could be in for a long night.
6:43.
Is that the time?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Rick, I'm sorry. Tony and I have been kind of missing each other the past week or so. If he chimes in tonight, we're going to ask him on the phone if he calls, because there's very few nights when him and I don't play phone tag one way or the other. And what's today's date? The 30th? I think at this point he would have been able to see her once, but we're going to get the inside scoop. Hopefully, we're either going to see Tony next weekend in Maine, in your native land, or Tony, hopefully, we're going to be able to have come back in studio, which will be great because we've missed having him here. Glantz has been playing the no-show routine, and I know you're very familiar with Glantz, Slick Rick. So we're not happy with him. You can't no-show. He's a man with great ideas. He's creative. He's helpful. But when you no-show 3 out of 4 dates, I know things are busy in Glantzville with the riots and whatnot, but come on. Oh, please. Oh, that spin kick. Come on.
It's crazy how much they train, but they just don't get any better. I don't know. I'm trying to sugarcoat it as much as I can, and there's not much to sugarcoat this. I'll tell you that.
Didn't they just put the Riot Squad back together again like 2 weeks ago? And they're going to turn on each other already? I mean, why would the fans bother to ever invest in either of these people? They turned on each other for no reason. They got back together again for no reason. Yeah, shades of Bad News Brown right there with the ghetto blaster to the hand. Oh, I just...
Step up in Seguri. Oh, God.
All right, I was getting worried for a minute. Look at that. Stan Hansen like clothesline. Make it 2.
Oh, jeez.
Billy Kay, or whatever her name is.
Peyton Royce.
Peyton Royce, the other one. Rocking and rolling here at Payback on the kickoff show. In front of several hundred television sets. We're just 15 minutes away from the main show.
Can't come
Liv Morgan
sooner.
missed the post.
Oh!
And then a couple of ropes. That's all right. We got an official Candy there making sure missed the head. I tell you, this one is rough night at the office. Not due to lack of effort, though, from the ladies.
As Gorilla Monsoon used to say, it's a happening.
Well, as Gorilla used to say, stick a fork in them, they're done. That probably would have been the introduction to the match for me.
The introduction.
Stick a fork in them, they're done.
As they're making the entrances, they're already done.
I just, and I not only look at it as a person that enjoys wrestling, I don't only look at it as a person that has worked in wrestling for almost 27 years now, but as a WWE stockholder that, they're playing with my money. Why aren't they trying to put a good match on these kickoff shows that are going to get the fans excited to see the show?
So I said before,
not want to watch it at all.
This isn't really a kickoff match to me. This doesn't really get me, the juice is flowing for Payback, and the pay-per-view itself is already not doing anything for me. Put on a good, kickoff show match, get me a little excited. Not this.
Jay Fleming, you sound like my good friend Dave Carter up in Nashua, New Hampshire. WWE's ratings would skyrocket if Vince Russo turned out to be the leader of Retribution. Well, I say this. I don't know about introducing Vince Russo as a character, but I think Vince Russo's best attribute is coming up with big concepts. I don't think he's really all that good as trying to come up with week-to-week booking and writing of wrestling, but I think his biggest asset to that company would be to come up with some big ideas and let maybe not the comic book writers, so to speak, work with it at that point, but some better versed wrestling people. And this is just one step away from glow at this point.
3.
Well, Paul Bearer took the 3 count. And I'm going to guess that considering there's only about 3 tag teams in the division, that Liv and Ruby are going to be top contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And some more matches that I really won't want to see, but they'll present them anyway.
Those titles.
Look, now they're all friends again after they almost turned on each other in the middle of the match. I don't know. At least it's over with.
I don't know. I think those.
See, Rick agrees. It's finally over. Fox Guy, this match is comparable to a sound check. Thank you. I tell you. Echelon, this is just me. The last great wrestlers are Cena, Orton, Cody Rhodes, and the rest of them suck in this era. I don't know if I'd go that far, but the presentation of them sucks. You know what gets me? Since it's on a commercial break now. When you see the commercials on Fox during football games, baseball games, and so on and so forth, that's a very powerful medium for WWE to be showcased just in a snippet to fans that may be lapsed, to fans that maybe never watched it again. Who do they present on these Fox Sports games in the different graphics?
I know Roman Reigns, Kofi Kingston, they did Charlotte Flair before they moved her back to Raw.
Yeah. And now it's those two and Sasha and Bayley.
And The Fiend, I know they do as well.
I've never seen The Fiend. The 4 that I've seen ad nauseum are Roman, Kofi, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. Now, when I would get together with my friends to watch a football game and say, hey, remember the 80s, remember the Attitude Era, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, here's an ad for the wrestling. You really think showcasing Sasha Banks and Bayley is going to get these millions and millions of lost wrestling fans from the 80s and 90s to watch again?
And they get a lot of shout-outs, too, across all the Fox Sports games as well.
Yeah.
In the different regions. And every Fox game I watch, they're getting either a shout-out by the announcer, they're getting a commercial or a little graphic in the bottom corner. But even when they show it, it's still the same people that you mentioned before. And I just don't think it grasps the people. The person that they should be pushing in those type of graphics and commercials is Braun Strowman.
If it was me as someone that was trying to make money off these shows and get lapsed fans interested again, I'd push Roman, Strowman, Fiend. I'm thinking Kofi, Bryan, AJ, but if I'm trying to pick a 4th one.
Riddle?
No.
I'm just trying to think of Sheamus, Big E.
I hate to say it, but where we're in a day of, racial equality, maybe Kofi. And not only that, I love Kofi. He's one of the great athletes in the history of the company, but as far as being a draw, it's not really there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think about AJ and Daniel Bryan, and there's not really a draw there. But these would be the 3 I'd be pushing on Fox. Roman, Fiend, and Strowman. I don't know if there's any kind of a lag or a 7-second time delay, almost like what you have with the radio. I don't know. This is interesting. I like having our friends with us here in the chat. And fans, as you're being bored to death by seeing these matches for the 90th time, we want to remind you that we have this beautiful New Day plaque, number 11 of only 20 in the world made. It's got a piece of the canvas from Battleground. It's got a piece of the canvas from SummerSlam. It's signed by Kofi, Big E, and Xavier Woods. You can get it here before it goes on eBay. We have this Fiend, number 34 of only 36 in the world that was going to be sold at the WrestleMania 36 Superstore in Tampa, Florida. WWE, as usual, is very kind to us. We also have this one. If you're a fan of NXT TakeOver, this is the last one. Well, we have 2 left. One of them is for our set. This one is for sale, number 78 of only 100. It's signed by everybody that competed on the Phoenix TakeOver card in 2019. I was very happy to be there to see my dear, close, personal, longtime friend, Warbeard Hansen, who is now Ivar of the Viking Raiders. This is signed by Tommaso, former MWF TV champion we've had here in the studio, Aleister Black, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, Raymond Rowe, is that his name? Mm-hmm. Warbeard Hansen, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Cassius Ohno, and Matt Riddle. It's signed by everybody on the card. It's the last one we have left for sale. One of them I'm going to keep for the set. We have this similar to the Bray Wyatt autographed photo that's framed and matted. We have this one. It's not framed and matted. It comes in a simple plastic top loader just to get it to you safe, signed by Edge. Beautiful picture. We have one of Rey Mysterio down there that is available for sale. That was also from the WrestleMania 36 Superstore that never took place. And to Matt's left, we have the 2018 WWE NXT roster poster. That poster is signed by all 21 superstars on that poster. I mean, you talk about a rare collectible. NXT would sell those at live events, and we're talking about the yellow one. I think they were about $75, and they'd be signed by 6 or 7. Thanks to some of our great friends down in Orlando, the Performance Center in NXT, we have several that are signed by everybody. And we're talking about, look at some of the hitters on that one. You have, if you can't see it from this far away, Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, EC3, Lacey Evans, Cassius Ohno, the Viking Raiders, War Raiders, whatever they were called, Lars Sullivan, I don't know if that's a screenshot from one of his movies, Nikki Cross, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, Kairi Sane, who's back in Japan, Shayna Baszler, Aleister Black, and folks, put your teenage kids to bed, the Velveteen Dream. It's signed by all 21. Someday that's really going to be a rare, it's a rare collectible now for it to be signed by all 21. WWE has never sold them signed by all 21. Again, if you went to a NXT non-televised event, they would sell the poster, but it was only signed by 6 or 7 talents, not everybody. And again, anything you buy from us, you're helping keep the wrestling legends working. It's helping put food on Tony's table. It's helping Marty Jannetty pay the bills. It's helping Brutus Beefcake keep the electricity on. It's helping us bring you more superstars and legends. I've been talking to someone that may be coming here my birthday weekend in September that I think you guys are going to love. You're going to love. We got a lot of good stuff cooking. We can't do it without fan support. It's as simple as that. Mr. Degnan, otherwise known as
the man in the middle, or guest, or prodigy. I'll be guest for tonight. That's really rare, though. You never see the poster signed by everybody.
Jay Fleming, have you ever met Hulk Hogan? Jay Fleming, have I ever met Hulk Hogan? Brother? Where we go? Am I going to watch me knock over everything? Jay Fleming, brother. We've got this beautiful Hulk Hogan 11 by 17 poster from SummerSlam 2014 when he came back. We actually worked with Hulk Hogan for 3 different events. Twice with our good friend Pat Catino, who owns local gyms here in Massachusetts. As dear friends with the Hulkster, we help promote those autograph signings. I don't know if you can see it on that camera shot, but over Matt's shoulder, we have an 11 by 14 photo file poster of the Hulkster. Hulk signed probably 20 things for us that day. Then the year before, in 2013, in a very interesting weekend with our friends at TNA Impact, who initially invited me as a guest to their Fan Fest and pay-per-view because we helped promote it, they wound up needing a lot of help at their events because they had very little. So I wound up with my buddy Abyss, Jeff Hardy, and the Hulkster with Hogan for about 4 hours. And again, the Hulkster was very gracious in signing stuff for our various charity raffles and auctions and so on and so forth at our live events and online. So we do have some great Hulk Hogan stuff. This one is available on eBay, or you can get it directly from us tonight on video. And you don't have to have eBay take a big cut. eBay takes too much of a cut. And I don't understand why, but they take a cut of the shipping. The shipping isn't cheap to begin with. The prices keep going up. When we ship these things to you, we always provide a top loader. Those things go for a couple of bucks. We always send them in the like the bubble cushioned packages. Those aren't cheap. And then eBay wants to take a cut of the shipping charge on top of it. eBay, don't make me have the sheik talk to you.
Oh.
Because he won't be as nice as me. But this is a really nice Hulk Hogan piece. I think we have two of them. One of them, obviously, we're going to keep for the set. One of them we're making available to you, Hulkster fans out there. And I'll tell you this, I have dealt with virtually every top guy in wrestling since I broke in 1993. Everyone that's been around since then and been alive since then. And he is, for what can be said negatively about quote-unquote backstage politics, you know, he ran into that video that was leaked a few years ago. I can't think of too many people I've ever seen as gracious with the fans as Hulk Hogan. When we did those two signings with Hulk in 2014, the one we did in Somerville, Massachusetts, drew about 1,800 people. The one in Tewksbury drew about maybe 1,300 people. He signed for everybody. He stayed all day and night, and he did it for free. He didn't make a penny. The fans didn't pay a penny. At the TNA Fan Fest, it was different. It was a paid experience, but he stayed well over an hour past how long he was contracted to be there because he wanted to make sure that every fan that wanted to see him, that paid for the experience, got it done. So I think the Hulkster is a very, very gracious man when it comes to meeting the fans. Everybody has their own personal opinions. You might have yours if you've met him, but if you're only going by things you've read, things you've seen, just remember there's two sides to every story. I've interacted with the man. I met him for the first time, I think it was my 18th birthday when Nitro was around. Yeah, it was September the 21st in 98, yeah.
Well, I wasn't even a thought.
Well, you were still swimming around some testicles at that point. But
yeah.
You were like Lanny, waiting to be shot.
Not in that case.
Not that way. But no.
Not in that case.
No, you wanted to be incarnated. But no, Hulkster is great. Hopefully that answers your question. I have nothing but good things to say about Hulk Hogan.
It's payback time, baby.
That's
7
awesome.
o'clock.
I don't know if you agree, but in my opinion, Hulk is the biggest name in the history of wrestling. Blah, 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 blah. Overall, I think Hogan is number 3 behind Austin and Rock based upon numbers. I think as far as the biggest star to non-wrestling fans, Hulk Hogan is probably the biggest as a wrestler, not including what The Rock has done in Hollywood. But as far, and I had access to the numbers because as you fans may not know, I had a very brief cup of coffee with WWF from 2000 to 2001. So I had a chance to see a lot of specific numbers, metrics, and so on and so forth. The biggest star in the history of that company as far as generating revenue was Steve Austin, with Rock number 2, with Hogan number 3. And that's even based upon inflation and things like that. Obviously, the tickets were a lot cheaper during the Hulkster's run than they were during the Attitude Era, never mind what they charge. Now, it looks like the fans, hopefully they're watching even now, we'll get a few more in the room. The numbers are creeping up. Payback is getting ready to start. But I'll say this, Austin and Rock never really had the mainstream publicity that Hulk Hogan had during his big run during the 80s boom. And as far as that part goes, I think you're right about that, Jay Fleming. Hakami, I wonder if Laz will be in the Rumble. I don't know.
He's got a Rumble going on himself.
I think he did a little bit of rumbling on Pornhub, but that's a different story for a different time, I guess. But I think Laz Sullivan really has a chance to make an impact. I met him in an NXT non-televised event at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, and my God, television doesn't do him justice. I'm probably taller than he is, but he's just a thick, and I'm not talking about what it was in the movie on Pornhub, but he's a thick guy. I think he really has a chance to be a monster if he can get past I know he's had some mental health problems, and hopefully he's doing better, and also had some physical problems. I think he had some kind of a surgery. Right now, fans, Payback is getting ready. Flip that switch, lights out. That sounds like what happened last Sunday when the lights went out here, when we were with Marty Jannetty with that thunderstorm we had.
And as you said, it looked like the Elimination Chamber was coming down with all the flashing lights.
It did. When you guys get to see the episode we were taping with Marty when the electricity went out, the version you see won't do it justice. Once the electricity started to go out, the tape cut in the other room on its own. But in here, the lights were blinking for a little bit. They went off. They came back on. They were blinking for a little bit before it went out completely. But we have some behind-the-scenes footage we're going to show you. What match are you guys looking forward to most tonight? For me, it's the triple threat title match. What about you guys? What match do you want to see the most tonight at Payback? I'll even ask you, guest.
Oh, I think if people say anything other than the triple threat, it's kind of, I don't know. There's really nothing else on here that's compelling to me other than the triple threat.
Yeah.
Nothing really stands out. The WWE title's not being defended tonight. The Intercontinental title's not being defended tonight. Raw tag titles it's just very limited titles. Most of them are actually I don't know why they're not defending that many titles. I guess because they were all defended last Sunday. But all the matches tonight are just Big E and Sheamus, who's made this week. You know, Corbin and Riddle, that's been building up for a couple weeks / months now. But there's just really nothing tonight that's got a build up, especially for a title in it. Usually if there's a title involved, people care more. But, you know, what do you think opens up this show?
One of those matches I really don't care about. I think I'm going to be right on that.
Here comes the Pyro and the Thunderdome.
Hey, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I just got a very interesting text, not a text, a Facebook message. Currently out of town. Huh. Well, folks, I can't say who, but we have another WWE legend of sorts that's very interested in joining us here in studio as those hundreds of television sets go wild in Orlando, Florida. Wrestling fans, it's Payback 2020 at the WWE Thunderdome, the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida.
I really like this Thunderdome. They're doing a really good job with no fans.
Whether you like the wrestling content, hate the wrestling content, the production values are unbelievable. First class, as good as any form of sport and entertainment. Now, this, you know what? I take that back. This is a match I do want to see.
Kicking off, Bobby Lashley, or as I like to call him, Booby Lashley.
Why do you like to call him Booby?
Look at him. He's like our friend Vicente Ray. He's got, you know.
I don't think he has Vicente Ray Wasco-like breasts.
Wait till he turns around. Look at those. Come on. So I call him Booby Lashley.
I would love for you to tell Bobby that he has breasts.
I did. In the New Orleans airport. I almost called him Booby Lashley right in front of him. But
yeah, well.
But
Booby is a good man. All right, let's see. We got some more questions. That's it. What do you think of some of the fans putting funny images or satire on the Thunderdome screens? I think it adds a personality to the arena. James, I agree with that to some extent. It's almost like when fans bring signs to the arena. It spicens it up a little bit. I don't think you need to put anything vulgar on there. I got a kick out of Fire Velveteen Dream, to say the least. But, yeah, I think anything that adds some personality to the show right now is a great thing. It really needs it. Moving from the Performance Center in front of the NXT trainees to the Amway Center, it really gives it that bigger event feel again. It's unique what they're doing with the Thunderdome, chiming the fans in on those individual screens. As long as it's not a vulgar thing, as long as someone, you know, there's no nudity or anything like that, let the fans have fun with it. I mean, it's really hard to try and pick something out unless you're really, really looking. And let me tell you this, if the fans are really looking at what's going on the television screen instead of what's in the ring, you have a problem with what's in the ring.
do you miss the developmental talent around the ring?
No. And I think they helped at the Performance Center. But as far as, I really don't think having a couple of dozen trainees at the Amway Center in Orlando would make that much of a difference.
No. Apollo Crews with that new United States Championship belt. Who do you think's going over here before the bell rings?
It's got to be Bobby.
Opening the show like this, I would.
Funny enough, I like Apollo Crews an awful lot. Up until he got this push back in, it was probably, a little after WrestleMania when they brought him over to Raw and they started to do more with him. He was someone, he reminds me a lot of Bo Dallas. When you would see him on the non-televised events, house shows, whatever you want to call them, Crews and Bo Dallas both stood out to me as someone that, guys that really had much more to offer than what they were doing with. I'm glad Crews is getting the opportunity. I can only hope that Bo Dallas gets the same opportunity at some point, because I really think there's some untapped potential that hasn't been showcased on television that Bo Dallas could present for the fans' enjoyment.
Well, there's a lot of guys like that who just sit in the back and they don't really do much with them, and they have, you know, a lot of talent. Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, Shorty G, which I hate calling him that, Chad Gable. There's just a lot of guys sitting backstage that don't do anything, but they have so much potential and talent.
We went, my God.
Oh, they still got the old title graphic up.
I know, right? They didn't even change their own graphic. We did 4 nights in a row back, and I think it was 2016. You know, it was the same house show night after night, but both nights coming back, I remember being so impressed by Cruz and Bo Dallas. And that's that.
Well,
did I ever tell you the story about how we were pulled over by the police with Bobby Lashley?
no.
Right here in Melrose, believe it or not. Myself, Bobby, Carlito, and an individual only known as Boo Park that I went to high school with. After one of our great MWF live events, we dined at the world-famous Kowloon Entertainment and Dining Complex. Bobby and Carlito wanted to go into Boston for a little night action, and we never made it to Boston.
Only time I met Bobby, or Booby, was in the New Orleans airport. I saw, he's a pretty big individual, and I saw him. I mean, you can't really miss him. I talked to him for a little bit until he...
You talked to him?
Talked to him, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you talked to him.
I'm talking to him, yeah.
Did you tell him that he had breasts?
No.
No.
I don't like how they changed his gear, too, from the singlet.
I think he looked better in the tights. The
Singlet.
the
whatever
biker
it
shorts, is
was.
that the terminology for them?
Tighty whiteys, whatever you want to...
I mean, it's just his entire body is so impressive.
It's his
Why
physique.
would you want to hide any of
That's
it?
like Roman Reigns. They hide all his muscle and mass under the Kevlar and the long...
That's part of the gimmick. Bobby,
Yeah, when he was with the Shield, it was. But when he broke apart from the Shield, they kept him in that gear. And he was getting bigger
he still
and
got
bigger.
the same. He still has the same theme song from the Shield.
Everything's the same from the Shield.
Mr. Cake Avenue in the building. How are you, Mr. Cake Ave? Let me ask you this. Where in the world is Cake Avenue? Is it anywhere near Glantzville?
Glantzville. I still don't know where that is.
Neither does Glantz.
Moonsault. It's a nice moonsault.
And I'm also so happy that they're doing something with Shelton, who's been back now since 2017. And outside of that tag run he had with Chad Gable, they didn't do a heck of a lot with him. And now they are.
He's a multi-time 24/7 champion.
Oh, that really doesn't count. Mr. Cake Avenue is in Bronx, New York. All right. He watches all of our Tony Atlas shows. Well, Mr. Cake Avenue, thank you. You're welcome to come from Cake Ave to 360 Main Street at some point once we have live shoots in the studio again. Hopefully, Tony will be with us here in studio in the next week or two. Because we're running out of episodes with Tony that we already take. And we love our Tuesday nights with Tony at 9 p.m.
I think Bobby's got to go over here.
Yeah. This replay brought to you by Hulu. Of that.
Well, they used to have their partnership with Hulu till that went bye-bye.
I've never seen Hulu.
You don't have a Hulu subscription?
Believe it or not, no, I do not have a Hulu subscription.
I'm dropping it at the end of 2020.
Why?
They're taking Seinfeld off and it's going to Netflix.
Oh,
and
you got a little
Hulu-
heat with Hulu.
Hulu is terrible. Oh, man.
I like that spot.
Hulu is terrible. The movies, they never update. Shows are actually not that bad on Hulu, but the movies, awful. This is a good spot.
It's like Netflix. Netflix movie selection is horrible.
Netflix is much better than Hulu. If you go check Hulu's, I mean, at first it's good because some things you probably haven't seen on there. But once you've had it for a few months, it's brutal. But Netflix, I definitely like better than Netflix. I wish they had some better TV shows. They have the same stuff. But I think in 2021, places are going to get more, especially now that everybody's home with the virus and everything like that, not going out as much.
You know, Rick B said, aha, ah, ha, 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 ha. Good old Glantzville. Mayor is a slacker, though. He is a slacker. Mayor of Glantzville, I say this, he's always never too far away. I'm sure he's going to tune in at some point tonight. We wish the mayor was here. We wish the mayor would communicate and let us know what's going on.
Oh, he's probably at the town hall right now.
He's probably at the town hall.
getting some late paperwork done.
Unless maybe there's a little Monica Lewinsky action going on in Glattsville.
With the cigars?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll
tell you, I have an idea of where the town hall is.
All right. Ollie Clintsay, don't trust Heyman. He doesn't trust Paul Heyman tonight.
That's what I said
Here on
earlier.
Payback.
I wouldn't trust him. Maybe he turns on Roman tonight.
I think it's too soon.
Well, you never know with WWE.
In a logically booked wrestling promotion, it would be too soon.
Well,
how about that?
Nothing here is really logical.
No. Wrestling fans, again, we're trying to show off this great merchandise on the set. We're trying to raise money to help keep professional wrestling legends like Tony Atlas, Marty Jannetty, Brutus, Beefcake, and more working. Again, we have the TakeOver posters signed by all 12 from NXT TakeOver Phoenix in January 2019. We have the Bray Wyatt 1 of 36 WrestleMania 36 Superstore photo autographed by Bray. It is framed and matted. We have the 2018 NXT roster poster signed by all 21 superstars on that poster itself. We have this beautiful SummerSlam 2014 11 by 17 autograph Hulk Hogan poster available. This was very limited to a couple hundred people that were allowed to attend the event that the Hulkster participated in. We've got Rey Mysterio down by Guest's leg. That's 1 of only 36 signed by Rey Mysterio. We've got the Edge WrestleMania 36 Superstore autograph photo, 1 of only 36. And right here in the middle, we have the New Day plaque signed by Kofi, Big E, Xavier Woods. It has a piece of the canvas from the Battleground pay-per-view in SummerSlam, number 11 of only 20 in the world. We're going to change this memorabilia after the matches and display other things. So if you have any interest in these items, let us know. PayPal is available. If you get it from us instead of eBay, more comes to help produce these great shows instead of eBay getting a chunk, not only of the merchandise, but for whatever reason, eBay takes a chunk of the shipping and handling.
And they have nothing to do with that.
They have nothing. I have to go. They should be going and doing the shipping for me. They should be down at the post office.
They should be paying you for doing that because you're bringing them the money.
Damn right.
All right. I wouldn't even mention eBay.
Ollie Clintsay. Am I saying your name right, buddy? AEW, although I like WWE, AEW is much better. Sorry, but it is. Ollie, you have every right to your opinion, brother. Watch one on my own? Probably Spider. No, Batman. You don't like Batman?
He's got no superpowers. Well, he's a rich guy in a suit. What are you going to do?
The one superhero movie that I saw over the past couple of years that I really liked was Aquaman. And I didn't
Aquaman's good. I like him.
I didn't have high hopes going in, and it was really good.
My favorite's Wolverine.
Frog splash off the top from Apollo. Bobby, brother, there you go. All right. Yes, you're saying my name right. Well, Ollie, I didn't want to say it wrong, brother.
That was a nice frog splash. You got some height on that one.
I don't remember seeing your name before, Ollie. Welcome to the family if you're a newcomer. And if you like our dear friend Slick Rick, if you like Stoney, amongst her many aliases, if you like Maria and all our other great fans, there's that little super chat button, the little gray S beneath the chat. Hook a brother up with a drink. I got to eat. I got to get ready for Tony. Do you know what kind of effort it takes to prepare for Mr. USA Tony Atlas for 8 to 9 hours? You people have no idea. Oof. We need to do a behind-the-scenes video of that. It looks like Bobby's ready to
hug him.
Full Nelson, or
he's going for the full Nelson right now.
All right, looks like he's ready to violate him. Look at him.
Is Velveteen Dream on the card then?
Yeah.
Full Nelson's in.
Shades of Billy Jack Haynes. I like this right here.
I like that.
I like the positioning.
Bobby
and you know what? A good finish.
New United States champion Bobby Lashley, or some may say Bobby Lashley.
Bobby gives that championship much more credibility than Apollo Crews. And I like Apollo Crews, but I think Bobby gives it more credibility.
Apollo's just not built yet.
No, see, the problem with Apollo Crews is they had him win a match or two, and then they gave him the title. They should have built him up over months to get him, for the fans to want it. Instead of just giving it to them and the fans not caring, they should have made him want it.
Because they were trying to make the As they say, the man makes the belt doesn't make the man.
I like what they just did with that photo. That's pretty cool. Live to action photo.
Well, that's cool. What the hell?
Ollie says, I think this is how it goes down. Reigns will win. Then the next pay-per-view, Brock attacks Reigns. Batman is kick-ass. Last I heard, you're not going to see Brock Lesnar around for quite a while, Ollie, until there's fans in the arena.
So he's showing up tonight,
Is that subject to change where the ratings sometimes have been in free fall? Absolutely. But the last time he came up in a conversation with someone in the know in WWE several weeks ago, that was their knowledge, that it wouldn't be quite a while before he's on TV again. And why waste him? Hey, Maria, baby. Hey. Hello, Dan and Matt. What's up again? She gives us love. Maria, I don't know. Someday it might be like Publishers Clearinghouse. We're going to come knock at your door and we're going to give you flowers for being such a wonderful super fan of what we do here in Boston Wrestling on Wrestling Insiders.
Maybe we should do that with Tony.
No.
Go to people's houses, give them flowers.
They'd call the police.
On Tony?
I want to do it half the time. All right. What else do we have here? Bob should have won the belt. I agree with you on that one. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Hakimi? Justin Davis. I heard Brock Lesnar supposed to show up tonight at the Payback pay-per-view. I don't know, Justin. Maybe you have some kind of an inside scoop, but with people that I know in the thick of things with WWE, it's supposed to be quite a while before we see him as a regular character again. I think it would freshen up the show if he came back tonight. I hope you're right. And here we go with another boring plug for the Bellas. You know what? Let's swap out some merch, baby. What are we going to swap out? I have no idea.
You tell me.
All right. Why don't we take out...
You want me to give you Ray?
Yeah, take Ray out for now.
Vicente Ray?
Not Vicente Ray. Give him a little Finn Balor right there, baby. Who else do we got over here? We got a little Daniel Bryan over here. Put that one over there. We got, who else do we got? We got, who else is on the show tonight? Oh, this one. We'll put these two out. We got some really good ones for you, folks, so get rid of that NXT one. You talk about some rare items. All right. As WWE gets ready for another match you may or may not care about, let's take a look at some of these great items we have. This is a Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 36 Superstore autograph photo, one of only 36 in the world. The Superstore obviously didn't open this year because WrestleMania didn't take place in Tampa. We have the Daniel Bryan, one of 36 available. We also have, that one was from WrestleMania 35 in New York City. That is one of 35, signed by our good friend Finn Balor, one of the finest athletes we've ever had here in Boston Wrestling MWF before. And then we just added these two great autographed 11 by 14 posters. This one right here was supposed to be an exclusive at the Superstore. Thanks to WWE for being so kind to us. It is signed by all four ladies, the four horsewomen, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Right now, Becky Lynch has gone off to become the mom instead of the man. Charlotte Flair is having a little repair work done to her chest. Here is a great chance to own an 11 by 14 poster signed by all four ladies. Then, to Matt's left, from the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view last October, it's the official event poster signed by Bray Wyatt. Is that one of 50 or one of 100? It should say
50.
One of 50, signed by Bray Wyatt as The Fiend. So we got some great merchandise. We have this Fiend WrestleMania 36 Superstore photo framed and matted. We have this one of 20 New Day plaque that has canvases. We've got the four horsewomen signed. We've got the Bray Wyatt poster. And we've got the WrestleMania Superstore autograph photos of both Finn and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's also, look at all the people to show you the history we have here. Can we pat ourselves on the back like Barry Horowitz? Finn Balor, Kofi, Daniel Bryan, Sasha have all competed in the MWF. How about that?
And Bobby, who just won the title.
Bobby's not on my set that we're trying to hustle merchandise for. The hell with
Him
Bobby.
winning the title is pretty big.
That's great. That's we're gonna get Keith Lee.
But I'm
He's
trying to
coming up
relate
tonight.
it back to the show
All
because
right,
it is
related.
It is a watch along.
A watch along?
Watch along.
A watch along. All right. Do you like the watch along?
Well, when we're talking about it.
Hey, you know what, Jay Fleming, brother?
There's another
Up
one
in Canada. Thank you so much for helping the cause. And look at that. Talk about giving Keith Lee some rub. John Bradshaw Layfield. It's nice to know you fine folks appreciate what we're trying to do here on this show. We are planning on being back Saturday night for, what's it called again?
All Out.
AEW All Out. If you want to do an AEW All Out watch along with myself and guests, let us know. We're also planning on being back for a big night, Sunday, September the 27th, for Clash of Champions. We'll do a Clash of Champions watch along. Then after Clash of Champions, we're going to have a special edition of Wrestling Insiders, Strutting and Cutting. Brutus, the Barber, Beefcake, and I start to dissect the year that was the World Wrestling Federation in 1988. Probably Brutus's biggest year as a singles competitor.
Not that I remember, but
Well, yeah.
you got to think. I started following and watching in like 2009. I mean, I do know the history and stuff like that. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here
Big E
we go.
versus
Yeah,
Sheamus. They gave him that Irish brawler type of look.
Yeah, I tell you, when I see that hat, it just adds a whole new level of dangerousness to Sheamus.
I can tell you're being facetious.
Very, very. Sheamus doesn't need a fresh coat of paint. He needs a fresh gallon of paint. But, you know, he's had a nice run in WWE.
Since 2009, he took out John Cena basically in his first feud.
And it's been downhill ever since. But if you love Big E, if you want Big E on your wall along with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, baby, one of only 20 in the world right there. How good would that look in someone's man cave? We're gonna check your bag on the way out.
Yeah, like I can fit that in there, unless I have a suitcase.
Jay Fleming, Maria, and now, if I'm saying it wrong, you're gonna hurt my feelings. Hakeem. Oh, and he's a comedian too. I heard you like cats. He used the cat emoji. No, I do not like cats. I have a severe phobia of cats. If you watch the Tony Atlas Wrestling Insiders at Your House episode where we talk about Seth Rollins, available in the archives, you can see just how much I love cats. But we appreciate the love either way. Justin Davis, he's a huge fan of both WWE and AEW. And you know what, Justin? There's nothing wrong with that. When I was a kid, I enjoyed WWF, NWA, World Class when it was on ESPN, the AWA when it was on ESPN. I mean, there was a lot of variety of wrestling to choose from. It's fine to have a favorite, but why not like all of them? One man's opinion. And it might not even be worth that much. But you guys are great for staying with us tonight. Again, if you're on social media, or if you're a tweeter, if you're a Facebooker, if you're an Instagrammer, share it. Let us know we're here. We love to get great wrestling opinions, have great wrestling talk.
Who do you think's going over here, Big E or Sheamus?
Yeah. Does the term nobody cares fit?
I guess
I would have to say, if I was going to bet $1 on this one, I'd have to say Big E.
I would say Big E. Sheamus can take the loss, but I think they want to build Big E pretty well.
I mean,
I don't get why they have him in these backstage interviews as a Irish brawler, and then he comes out to the ring in his old getup. You know what I mean?
He supposed to be an Irish brawler?
That's what it looks like. He looks like a guy you'd see in a bar over in Ireland, you know, beating people up or whatever. And then he comes out to the ring and he's still got the Celtic cross.
He looks like he spent about $4.50 at the Salvation Army on that outfit. But
he used a little too much tape on his hands there.
And does he have the tape on in the ring?
No. It's inconsistencies like that. It's the little things, right?
It's the little things. That's right. Well, if he doesn't have the tape on his hands in the ring, I'm going to...
Only thing he usually has is a little bit of wrist tape.
Yeah. Well, come on. No, he doesn't have the white tape on his hands. Jay Fleming, you may not like me as well if I tell you I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, LOL. Well, you know what, Jay Fleming? If you're from Montreal, you're a fan of a great sports franchise. How about that? I don't discredit that. Yankees fans sometimes can be a little rough around the edges from times. I've attended games at Yankee Stadium. But you know what? I think sometimes, I hate to say it, Red Sox and Patriots fans can be a little overbearing. So you know what? Act like you've been there, as the old saying goes. You know what I mean?
At least you know one good Brewers fan.
And he's a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers.
You never hear anything bad about them.
You don't hear much about them at all anymore, but that's all right.
Well,
all right, I tell you, this is going to be a war, fans. Who's it going to be? Big E, Sheamus, or nobody cares? Which one in your prediction? I want to hear it.
I think Big E goes over here.
I think Big E too. But in the end of the day, I really don't have much of a vested interest in this match.
Thrown together BS.
Now, fans, as we also mentioned, you may be a little late. I am going to put the link right here in the... What are you laughing at?
The way you said link.
What's wrong with saying link?
The way you say it, like when you say, when I say stuff weird with an accent, and then you say stuff with an accent sometimes. So sometimes.
Well, we both have different accents.
Yeah.
You just happen to think you're from New York, even though you're from Connecticut.
It's Southwest Connecticut.
Southwest Connecticut.
Yes.
I'm sorry. He's not from Connecticut. He's from Southwest Connecticut. I missed that part. Let me get this link in. Wrestling fans, part of what we're trying to do to get more great talent into this studio to present. See, Maria knows, baby. Nobody cares. That's why I like Maria. We're doing a fundraiser for great WWE t-shirts at bostonwrestling.com/shirts.html. You can get a brand new WWE t-shirt. We have a couple of dozen different styles available for the same price as you'd find it on WWEshop.com. Not only do you get the t-shirt, but you get an autographed Superstar or Legends photo. You get a WWE Cup, and you're going to get an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Is our thanks to you for helping our team. What a great gift to give this holiday season. It's going to be here before you know it.
I don't know what you want me to add.
Buy the shirt. This is like an NWO commercial. Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt.
Yeah.
Or buy the shirts. And we do have the original Bootio shirt from 2016, which, funny enough, that year at WrestleMania in Dallas, that was the #1 selling t-shirt of anything released. Would you believe that?
Really?
The New Day's Bootio shirt at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas was the top-selling piece of merchandise.
I didn't really like the whole Bootios thing.
Well, we do have the shirt available for the fans that do like it at bostonwrestling.com/shirts.html, and we just happened to put the link there. I think I'm going to put it to the top. We're going to pin it, baby. Get your shirt, get your cup, get your autograph photo, and get your on-air shout-out from Tony Atlas. As Sheamus pounds away on Big E.
Oh,
Well,
depends on which pound.
Well, he's not pounding him that way. They have to have Lars Sullivan in there for that one.
He'll really be getting payback.
Trick or Trey, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Have you been around or have I not seen you? Jay Fleming, Sheamus blends in with the ring rope. You're right. If it was one of the video games, they'd really have trouble with him. This is the big splash. I know the fans were kind of rallying behind Big E to become a top-tier singles competitor once Kofi got injured after one of the recent pay-per-views. I don't see Big E as a top singles guy. Do you?
When he was with Dolph Ziggler, he was in that little group, and then he kind of drifted off.
Yeah.
He was a good Intercontinental Champion. He had some good matches. I think if they build him right, I think he's a good singles competitor.
I think he's well built, but he looks like he's about 5'8".
That's the thing. If he was taller, he'd definitely be a main event guy. But I think his shortness and then kind of the whole comedy shtick, I think it holds him back a little bit. I think as of now, he's a good mid-carder, but I think he needs to be built a little more.
I could never see him as a top guy. As much as I love Kofi.
Look at the guys they have on SmackDown. What top guys are they, other than the triple threat tonight, what other top faces do they have at the top, other than Riddle and basically
Hardy, AJ, Daniel Bryan?
AJ's a heel now, though.
Oh, is he a heel?
Yeah.
Well, you sure? It seems to change so much. You have Daniel Bryan.
Hardy just beat him for the title.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about
so
that. Yeah.
What other and Hardy?
It's hard to keep track sometimes.
Yeah, but who are the top faces they have on SmackDown?
How many do you really need?
Well, Hardy's the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. So who else do you have as a top face?
For the top faces on that brand, I'd say Roman, Strowman.
No, Roman's going to be a heel.
He's not going to be a heel. Roman, Strowman, Hardy, Bryan, Kofi. I mean, that Riddle, they've given a pretty good push to. The problem is they don't have enough mid-card and undercard guys to accentuate the top guys that they have. They keep facing the same opponents over and over again, and they don't stand out as top guys. But that's been the problem of the WWE dynamic for 19 years now. Look at this, working over the ankle of Big E.
Well, because they want to make Roman more of a heel now.
I don't think they want to make Roman more of a heel.
So, but they paired him with Heyman.
Well, you have to watch and see how it develops. You got to give it more than one. We've seen a 30-second television clip at this point. And it was very effective as far as getting people talking and interested about tonight's show. So I give them credit for that.
Because the thing is, recently they've been announcing all the surprises that they've had.
What do you mean?
Like, say Stone Cold comes back. They announce it beforehand. I know they want to get the viewers and stuff like that, and it's all about the viewership and the demos and stuff. But the thing is, they don't know how to keep a surprise anymore. When someone's about to return, they always announce it on social media. But they kept the Roman thing well under wraps because even backstage, no one was really talking about it.
And look at how effective it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
But say they announced it a day before. Roman Reigns will appear, or he'll appear on SummerSlam and cut a promo, whatever it is. Sometimes they like to announce stuff before it even happens. And if you go and you read the comments on those posts, what's the first thing everybody says? Don't spoil it. We want to be surprised. But the thing is they're trying to get the people, as you said, the lapsed fans who aren't really watching, who are kind of, in a flux from watching the program and everything. But because they're trying to get those people who aren't really watching to see, Roman's coming back on Friday. Let me tune in.
The solution to getting the lapsed fans back is one they don't want to face the reality of. It's a long-term proposition. It's almost like when a sports franchise has to rebuild from the bottom up. For them to get back these millions and millions and millions and millions of fans that have departed and to try and sample it again, you need to come back with a strong foundation to the house. You need to come back with a strong core, and they don't have that right now. And that's why we haven't seen an increase in business for 19 years, outside of a little blip with Cena and Batista when they gave them the belts. But as far as anything earth-shattering, there hasn't been an increase in business in 19 years. And that's a damn shame, considering you have probably the greatest group of athletes they've ever had in the company right now.
They make a lot of money now, though. That's the thing. Is like Vince McMahon's revenue and all his money's been going sky high. And
that's what's funny. Look at the money they've made off of the television deals as is right now. Record-breaking.
And those Saudi deals, too, those events they run over there, they're getting tons of money for that. And that's why their money has been so good, but their viewership hasn't.
What would those deals have been worth if the ratings were where they were in the Attitude Era? What would the company's stock be worth right now if they had numbers like they had in the Attitude Era? Scary to think. And as a WWE stockholder myself, those things are important. Ollie says AEW gets more ratings. Ollie, AEW gets more ratings than NXT, but not SmackDown and Raw, unless I misread it.
And even the other night, they went unopposed Thursday night, and they only did 800-something thousand. And so they were still a million away from Raw or SmackDown, million plus.
Yes, Maria says, I think WWE will need to get new writers due to the storylines, which in my opinion are weak. Maria, I agree with you 100%. The problem is there's constantly new writers coming in and out of the company. The problem is they don't have as many wrestling enshrined people as they should. They
It's all
look
the Hollywood
for
writers.
people that have written in comic books, that have written for sitcoms, that have background, that have degrees in writing. They need people that are versed in professional wrestling to try and attract professional wrestling fans. Far too often, they don't want to be professional wrestling, even though the product that they're trying to present on TV is professional wrestling. It's kind of a catch-22, but it's the reality of the situation. And it's lousy because there are millions and millions and millions of fans that have enjoyed what we're watching right now to a much greater degree that have just vanished into thin air. Vanished into thin air. And it's sad because when this is done right, it is the greatest form of sport, action, excitement, and entertainment known to mankind. It's just not done as well as it used to be. Preach, baby.
I mean, I already gave my piece. I was letting you kind of vent there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that. AEW gets more ratings than Impact. I don't even know how to get Impact on television here in Boston. I know it's on Twitch.
Impact does 400,000 if they're lucky.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they release their viewership.
Does that include the Twitch?
I don't know what it includes, but last I read was that they were doing low 400K. But that was.
Does anyone know the name of the channel that they're on at home?
Access.
That's right. It used, what was that one? They were on Pop TV, I think it was called.
They were on Spike at one time. That was when
they were on Spike. That was the holy grail for them.
Yeah.
And Spike. They screwed that. They screwed themselves out of that deal in spectacular fashion. They should have never lost that deal with Spike TV. And there's a lot of great working people in Impact Wrestling, and there's been a lot of idiots that have worked with Impact Wrestling. I've had some very interesting times with the people from Impact Wrestling. And it's a shame that the good ones have had to suffer because of the stupidity. I think you probably know we used to book a lot of the talent from TNA. You didn't know.
I knew you were close with. Nice bicycle name.
Oh, that could be it. That could be it.
Two. Nope.
Well, I was going to say at least it's over, but no. Big E had just enough left in the gas tank. Look at that. Your boy on Cameo. Look at that. He's trying to push that he's available for Cameo videos on his tights. That's original.
Yeah, he wants like a crazy amount of money.
Who?
Big E.
For how much?
You ever see I checked it. It's a lot of money. You ever see these Cameo prices?
Yeah.
For a 2-minute video, they want like an insane amount of money.
Roman's $250 for a 30-second video.
And then those meet and greets for online. Yeah, it's like $250 to do a meet and greet. Are you kidding me?
Are you talking about the WWE version or the Cameo version?
Both. The prices are outrageous just to say hi to someone over the phone. Well, the thing is, those Cameos, you're not even talking.
Could be it. Stick a fork in Sheamus. 2,
3, ring that bell.
Well, at least it's over.
Big E
Wrestling
is
fans,
over, baby.
again, we have the Bootios t-shirt available as part of our WWE t-shirt bundle fundraiser over on bostonwrestling.com/store.html. Wouldn't you look good in the original New Day's Bootios shirt? But if you really want to have that New Day flavor on your wall, baby, one of only 20 in the world, signed by Big E, Xavier Woods, and the former WWE World Champion Kofi Kingston. It's got a piece of the ring canvas from Battleground. It's got a piece of the ring canvas from SummerSlam, and they only made 20 of them. 20 of them. We have one that we're going to keep on our set, and we have one that's going to be available for sale to try and get more great legends in this studio. Who am I working on to join Tony Atlas, Marty Jannetty, and Brutus Beefcake in September? What others? I don't know if I want to exactly call him a Hall of Famer, but we have another gentleman planning in September to join us for another third weekly program, probably on Fridays, I think. We got a lot of stuff we're working on, kid.
I know someone who's not showing up, but
then let's glance.
Yeah.
Glance? I don't know, kid.
I'm excited for the third person, though.
Beefcake?
Or the fourth person, actually. Jeez.
And on top of that, this gentleman and our associate Dave Carter would like to do wrestling-themed talk shows, so you could be looking at 5 or 6.
You got a full plate, my friend.
The full plate. Except if Tony was around, because he's never met a free meal that he doesn't like.
Oh, then you got an empty plate.
That's right, an empty plate. Big victory for Big E here at Payback, folks.
Oh, huge victory.
You won't remember it next week, but it's big right now.
Hey, you know what's probably going to happen on SmackDown?
Sheamus will beat Big E.
Sheamus will.
Yeah.
It's called the 50-50 booking. Then Sheamus will go beat Big E, and then the next week they'll have some tag team match or something.
I like this. Chris Kiska, who is the jabroni with his socks pulled up?
That's his style.
He's actually known as Guest to some.
Yeah, I'm known as Guest.
Matt Degnan to others.
Oh, is this a new one they got again?
Here's another nameless, faceless woman that'll be forgotten about in a year or two, that'll add nothing to the presentation.
Her name was Ashlyn Ashton.
Never heard of her.
They'd probably change her name, too. I don't know why they have to. They're backstage interviewers, and they have to change their name. I don't get it.
Yeah, they don't want him going to another company. Matt Riddle, the world's oldest teenager, getting ready for action against, who is it tonight? King Corbin?
King Corbin.
Now, hopefully the flip-flops will come off with these. That remains to be seen. What else do we got going on? Jay Fleming. Maybe all of these new women interviewers are ring rats. Well, you know what, Jay Fleming? The ring rats used to be able to go to the events on a regular basis, weekly, monthly. You think maybe they decided to get into the business? I don't know. Chris Kiska wants to know, is he a wrestler? No, he's known as a prodigy. He's one of our behind-the-scene associates. He is interned at some of the finest media institutions in the country, and he has come here to talk professional wrestling with us.
Well, hopefully we're talking.
He's not his wrestling knowledge is not as well versed as mine, but you know what? He's got room to grow. I believe in him.
Well, my modern day stuff is
your modern day stuff is great.
Good, but
sometimes he's also known as Joseph Scoops.
I got the amount of nicknames.
He's got a lot of nicknames and a lot of scoops.
Yeah.
What else am I missing? Big E wants 125 on Cameo. No thanks for that.
Yeah, 100.
Fox guy, he's weak on the mic. Who's weak on the mic? The prodigy over here or Matt Riddle?
Probably me, because you keep interrupting me.
I would never do that.
I mean, I've already gotten people telling me that you're interrupting me, but
people have said that to you.
Oh yeah,
tonight.
Yeah.
Well, to all of the prodigy's friends, I apologize for talking over them. I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time.
Is it Degeneration X?
Oh, please. These two try hard, but I can't stand them.
I don't like them. I think too much comedy. What is this? Is this Tank Wars or something like that?
I have a feeling Baby Marathi will be, oh, Dan.
Oh, Andre the Giant.
Wrestling tanks.
Undertaker, Stone Cold. Jeez. War of Tanks. WWE download.
Look at that, Bob Remus, Sergeant Slaughter, getting a little payday off of World of Tanks. Good for him.
I mean, he is the Sarge.
Not to be confused with Sarge from Noel Salon. Yeah. No,
yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about having independent wrestling on WWE Network?
I think it ruins it.
I think it comes across as lowbrow. And again, as someone that owns stock in WWE, I want to see them make as much revenue as possible. But I think it almost seems like they have nothing else they can try and put on there of interest. So they're digging up independent wrestling. And we produce independent wrestling. So we love indie wrestling, but I just don't think it's the right place for it.
That's what I said. It kind of brings it down a little bit.
One man's opinion. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Whoa. Hey. We've heard from another WWE Hall of Famer. I'm not going to turn the phone that's interested in joining us on this show. So I tell you, we've heard from 2 already tonight.
Well, are they going to talk about the show or?
No, they want to be on our show.
Now?
Not tonight, but they want to come to the studio and join Tony, Marty, Brutus Beefcake, you, the man that'll be joining us weekly in September, the unnamed a co-host, returnee, non-Hall of Famer, I guess is the best way to describe him. My back is absolutely killing me right now, folks. I hope you don't mind me going into this little bottle.
Big
Gimmick, that's all. Baby Marathi, turn your eyes, kiddo. Or talk.
I don't know. This King Corbin angle, have you seen a King of the Ring type of gimmick go this long?
Correct.
No, you probably haven't. But I think they're dragging on this King of the Ring gimmick a little too long. But he won it, what was it? October last year? November? Actually, it might have been before that, because when he debuted on SmackDown, I believe he had that gimmick. So it might have been September. Here comes Riddle. I'm surprised they brought him up. I mean, they needed him, but he didn't really do much.
You know, I could be wrong, but I think he's been king probably for just about a year.
That's what I'm saying is I think in let's call it the fall of 2019 is when he won it. I don't think they've ever dragged on a King of the Ring this long before. And who knows if they're going to do another King of the Ring, because they're inconsistent with that type of stuff. They'll bring it up.
That's what I mean. In 2002, that winner was the king for many, many moons. And you know what, fans? If you want to talk about Matt Riddle, we've been known to get the cheap plug-in, brother. Where is it? Look at this. Right to your home from Oz, baby. The Matt Riddle 11x14 original bro autographed poster, established 2015, right there. Get this, it comes with a free Legends autograph photo, and like all of our great merchandise, we'll give you an on-air shout-out thank you from Tony Atlas as our thanks to you for helping produce the show. If you're interested in the Matt Riddle original bro autograph poster or any of this great merchandise, send us a message here. We got the PayPal open. It helps us feed Tony. It helps us feed Marty Jannetty. It helps us feed Brutus Beefcake. And, well, you may see him a little bit later on tonight at 11. He looks a little well-fed, but you never know. He may need more. We get another weekly guest coming in September. He wants to do a regular weekly wrestling show on the network. Dave Carter up in New Hampshire, another MWF associate, wants to do a regular talk show, as we've done in the past. I only have so much voice. I only have so much time to edit everybody else's work. But I love to talk with you guys. But this great merchandise helps us make it happen. We've got the T-shirt fundraiser going on. We've got the Patreon going on. You know what? Without a doubt, we've got to throw the link in here for the Patreon, baby. You're talking about early ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider programs, along with being able to stream our entire Studio Shoot Interview DVD collection. Ask my good friend Stoney. Ask my good friend Rickby, and all of you other fine folks that have joined the Patreon, how much fun we have over there with exclusive content. In September, we're going to have another bonus for the Patreons. I don't know if you were there for this one or not, but we're going to do, forget about MTV cribs. We're going to have a Tony Atlas crib.
I was there for that.
You were there for that?
I was the one that shot it.
Well, all right, you were there then. We're going to do a tour of Tony's home, exclusive to Patreon. Won't even be on YouTube. It's a lot of fun to see how cool Tony's man cave and life collection of stuff is. You were there for it.
I was there.
Cool stuff.
Get to see his little trophy. I don't want to give too many details. Get to see his little trophy room with all the, knickknacks that he has and everything. I thought it was really cool. Different pictures and trophies and stuff that he has, and a couple other things I didn't really expect walking in there. But once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But another sleeper hold.
All right, let's catch up.
It's just rest hold after. This match actually started pretty quick, which I like. Once Riddle, went into the ring, Corbin started with the clothesline. They rang the bell from there. I like Riddle's ring gear though, Orlando Magic themed, because
you're right. I do like that.
This is where they play. I like when wrestlers integrate different things into their,
Cena was excellent with that.
He was good wearing the different baseball and football jerseys and stuff like that.
Jimmy Burns, King Corbin started in mid-2019 as king. It's 14 months and counting. Good man. Mike Williams, love the shows, guy. Mike, we can't do it without your brother. Tell a friend, tell a few thousand. Get more eyeballs on it so we can as I have the hiccups, is we can bring you more great content. When I have the hiccups or something like that, that's your hint to talk.
I don't know when you're
Santa
going to
Maria.
get. I don't know when you're going to get a hiccup. Jeez.
Do the play-by-play on this war going on here at Payback.
It's a big war. Well, it's so look how slow paced this match is.
Do you guys want to hear a funny story about Corbin? I'll tell you in a minute if you do.
Yeah, you want me to do play-by-play and then you start a story.
Chris Kiska, Dan, you're the man, but there is no helping Marky Mark. Hey guys, just wondering if you've seen the video on YouTube of Jimmy Mouth of the South Hot managing Kamala in Memphis. He's cutting a promo about Kamala never tasting a watermelon. Aaron, I have never seen that. And I've never seen Kamala eat watermelon, and I have dined with the man.
I don't know what restaurants serve watermelon.
Well, you know what? That's true, too. The Prodigy is a hell of a promo. Look at that. From Jay Fleming up in Canada.
Yeah, when I'm allowed to talk. Thank you. You know, when I'm not interrupted. He tells me to do play-by-play, and he goes, oh, you know what? I got a story. And then he gets mad at me when he gets...
I teased the story.
Well, you teased it?
I teased the story.
Oh. And then I'm supposed to predict when you get the hiccups. I know I can telepathically.
When I look like I can't breathe, it's your time to talk.
Also, when you can't breathe, I'm just
then you can
talk.
Over here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know when you can't breathe.
Well, to make a long story short, Baron Corbin was very offended by an episode of Wrestling Insiders we did with John Cena Sr., and he blocked us on Twitter as a result. I thought that was kind of petty.
He's very soft like that.
Soft?
Soft.
He's very soft.
Yes. He gets very interactive with the Smarks on Twitter, and he likes to interact with them a lot. He thinks it's funny, and he thinks it's, you know, cool and stuff like that, but it just comes off as very babyish. And
I don't think he found John Cena Sr.'s video very funny.
What did he say about Corbin?
He buried him.
Oh, boy.
And I like Corbin.
Oh, what year was that? Because that's probably when Cena...
No, it was after that.
2017?
I'd have to go back and check.
Because if it was 2017, that's when Corbin won Money in the Bank and Cena cost him.
I remember that, but I don't think it had anything to do with...
That was in Providence.
At that point. I remember that, yep. I think it was actually... Was it the week before SummerSlam, the cash-in happened?
It was the week before, the Tuesday before. In Providence, Rhode Island, the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
He took offense to John Cena Sr. unloading on him.
He takes offense to everything. Every time someone ats him or even just talks about him, he gets involved with all the marks on Twitter.
I tried to defend him. Like I said, Matt Hardy, he took great offense to some comments that John Cena Sr. and I made. Jinder Mahal, there was some backlash on what Johnny Cena Sr. had to say about him. John Cena Sr. speaks from the hip. He might not be able to speak from the piece.
Does he speak from the hip or shoot from the hip?
A little of both.
Little of both. You know who else shoots from the hip? Lanny.
He shoots from someplace else that isn't his hip. A little more dead center.
Well, that's still a hip area, but...
Trigger Trey's having a laugh at something we're talking about. Jay Fleming, Prodigy versus Dan the Man. What a program that would be. Now, this is a pay-per-view I'd pay to see. You'd have to be the heel, Dan. Brother, I've been the heel since I came out of the womb. Just ask Linda Moratti, believe me. Except on payday. You hear, not to be too personal in the world of science, but you hear sometimes a woman has a time of the month. Linda had a couple of days out of the month where she was actually kind, and those were paydays. What are you going to do? I hope the baby's not watching right now.
She's probably listening right behind him.
No, she definitely wouldn't be watching. I can guarantee you that.
Or it'd be one of those instances where she's just walking by the computer.
She'd be driving down here to this studio tonight. Is the Prodigy a Catholic?
No.
You're not he's not. I am Catholic, if it means anything to you.
Wait, who was that from?
Chris Kiska.
Oh, well, how did he get that question?
I have not a clue.
I'm trying to think. I don't have anything on me that would, I mean, maybe my ring. I don't know.
Matt Riddle is all fired up here against the King.
Baby, at the Amway Center in Orlando. Oh, senton. Here comes the punt. Bang.
Now, you don't want to know something? I don't want to job anyone out because I would never do that. But the people at the Amway Center are a bunch of assholes.
I think I remember this story.
Well, I tell you, folks, many of you are familiar with the fact that I do suffer from a physical disability from the accident I was in with the Iron Cheek and Commissioner Von Johnson a few years ago. And as a result, I need to take a great amount of medication to try and keep this body moving. Well, the weekend of WrestleMania, was that 33 when they were in Orlando?
33.
WWE is always kind enough to provide us with tickets to all the events. But when I go to the events, I need to bring water with me to take my pills at different times. And I came to the event. I always disclose the bag with the medication and the water in it. And this woman at the arena tried to confiscate the water I needed to take for my pills, saying I needed to go in and buy them. I said, I don't need to spend $6 on a bottle of water to take medication. They didn't have any water fountains in the facility, and it led to a clash before I was allowed into, I think that would have been NXT TakeOver that year.
So it was a Clash of Champions.
I had a clash. It wasn't a Clash of Champions, but I tell you, you know who won over that night? I got the belt with the Amway Center. But the Amway Center is on my list. If I was one of those canceled people, I would have been all over Twitter.
They did the job for you.
They would not let me have my water to take my medication. I might have needed 2 to 3 bottles to take my meds over the course of those long nights. I was supposed to drop $18 on Amway Center water so they could profit off of my physical disability.
Sir.
As I said to them, with the volume raising just a little bit before they got a manager who didn't like the volume raising just a little bit. And the other fans that were coming and looking at them kind of lowly for trying to discriminate against a man that needed water for his medication, for his physical disability.
Sir.
So I got the water in. But I didn't like having to be singled out like that.
I've been to the Amway Center.
So you know what I
multiple
say
times.
about the Amway Center? And I love Orlando, Florida, but Amway Center, that's what I say to the Amway
I don't
Center.
think I'm going to go that far. I've been there multiple times for different events, wrestling and basketball before, and I've never had a problem. But different stories.
Now I understand. The prodigy has no soul. He needs to find God. This is getting very deep here on the Payback Watch Along.
Well, tell him to find me, but I don't think he will.
All right. Well, Chris, if you're in the Boston area and want to attend one of our fine tapings here at the studio, maybe you can discuss religion with the prodigy.
I went to Catholic school for about 12 years.
Were you born a Catholic?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
But there we
Was
go.
he a bro salt? Or what does he call that?
I've never seen him do that before. Wow.
Impressive win. Fans, if you think that's impressive, how would this 11x14 autographed Matt Riddle poster look on your wall while helping keep wrestling legends working, help keep the lights on in the studio? If you remember last Sunday, the lights went out due to that massive thunderstorm we had, and we had to relocate to a hotel with Marty Jannetty. But the Matt Riddle 11x14 autographed poster, it's available now. Matt Riddle is also signed, available on. What else do we have with Matt? We got this one, baby. NXT TakeOver Phoenix, beautiful city. Matt and every superstar that competed on that TakeOver event signed on 11x14. I get the hiccups again. Poster.
But you're still talking.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
The hiccups are really that bad for
Linda
you?
Maratti is hoping I stop breathing and never catch my breath, but that's all right.
Well, then I can talk.
You can talk. Yeah. You got that one? We have this beautiful roster poster. It's signed by 21 superstars. Oh, wait a minute. Matt Riddle isn't on this one. Well, you know what? If you like NXT, it's signed by 21 NXT superstars. What else? I know we have another one with Riddle on it. Where are they? If you saw the mess we have behind here, folks, during this watch along, how about this one? We have the 2019 NXT roster, and he is on this one. This is signed by 15 NXT superstars. We have the great Japanese superstar right there. That's Kushida. It's also signed by NXT Tag Team Champion Tyler Breeze, Johnny Gargano, the Frankenstein-like Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Matt Riddle, the man that loves Beverly Hills 90210, Velveteen Dream. Io Shirai, I believe.
Io Shirai.
Shirai, her too, the Street Profits, and all 4 members of the Undisputed Era. All 15 people. Again, you could go to an NXT show and buy this poster, but it's only signed usually by 5, 6, 7 of the talents. Here we have it signed by everybody, thanks to our great friends down in Orlando at NXT, the Performance Center. It's a great way to have Matt Riddle on your wall. And here she goes, that new nameless, faceless interviewer who will forget sooner than later. The King, wait a minute, he wants payback.
Here's your main event for Friday Night SmackDown.
Are you ready for a good time, baby?
Here comes another rematch.
Look at that.
And of course, they're the refs that are...
travel-sized boxes of cereal are being destroyed in this brawl.
It's funny, the refs are always right around the corner whenever there's a brawl. Here's Pat Buck. That ginger.
Yeah.
Riddle, look at him. He doesn't know where he is.
Fell into a child-sized box of Raisin Bran right there. What a night it's been at Payback so far, fans. I can't believe we're only an hour into this, but we're having a lot of fun. Cardona rules. Velveteen sucks. Let me tell you, Cardona, boy, does he sucks as someone that has dealt with that man over the years.
Here we go. Women's tag team titles up next.
The backlash he's receiving right now online couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Let me tell you. I'm in the studio. If you're interested, we actually have a shoot interview with Velveteen Dream right after he was on the Tough Enough program in 2015 as the former Patrick Clark. And he was here with my buddy, Leo Rush. I think the world of Leo. Leo gets a lot of stuff on social media sent his way, but Leo's a good human being. Velveteen Dream is an asshole. If Velveteen Dream is innocent of everything thrown at him in regard to the speaking out,
Me too.
teenage kid rumors, accusations, even if he's innocent of all that, he's still an asshole of a human being.
Oh.
But anyway, how do I really feel?
I can introduce the match?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sasha Banks and Bayley are going to defend their women's tag team titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. What do you think about these tag titles?
Nobody cares.
The Nobody Cares tag titles?
I think you should have a division with more than 3 tag teams across 3 brands for it to matter. But
look at the men's tag team divisions.
One man's opinion. I think these 2 women are overexposed to the nth degree. They're on TV sometimes 2 or 3 times along with pay-per-views. It's too much. Be a channel changers, in my opinion. Sasha competed here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation back in 2011. A very pretty lady, a very hard-working lady. I just don't think there's the need for these 2 to be on TV as much as they are. But if you are fans of Sasha Banks and Bayley, let me remind you, we have the 4 Horsewomen autographed.
Let me overexpose something else.
Well, have it exposed all over your wall, fans.
Oh, God.
Signed by Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. It's one of only 25. These were going to be sold at the WrestleMania 36 Superstore in Tampa this year when there was going to be a WrestleMania. Unfortunately, there was not. So we're lucky enough to have only one of these. If you want it, email us. It's available on eBay. But if you get it directly from us through PayPal, not only do you have the security of using PayPal, eBay doesn't take a big cut of the sale, and it doesn't take a big cut of the shipping and handling for some reason, which means more money from the sale goes towards having great shows, keeping Tony Atlas working, Marty Jannetty, Brutus Beefcake, and all the other great superstars and legends we want to have here in the studio before the end of 2020. You know what? I think we've got some great Sash stuff. Prodigy or a regular Howard Finkel, LOL. Now, I would take that as a compliment.
I would.
I like to think. What do we got? No, that's not Sasha. Almost as much makeup. But let's see. Here's a Sasha. We got one Sasha. We got. What else do we got? We just got everything. We got a zipper. You take that one. This is Sasha for all you fans out there from WrestleMania 35 weekend in New York. Hold that up for these fine folks. And on this side, here's one from WrestleMania 36. Sasha Banks. This one is one of only 36 in the world from WrestleMania 36 weekend. The one that the Prodigy has up that could be Catholic, should be Catholic. No. That's one of only 35. Maybe put that one in front of Finn for now. And again, You're talking about an ultra rare, limited collector's edition autograph photo, and you're helping us. You're helping Tony. Do you know how bad Tony's past couple of years have been? It speaks for itself.
Well, not like most girls. Here she comes.
Well, Tony hasn't been injured by Nia Jax yet, but that's probably only because they haven't wrestled.
Or walked on his face.
Yeah.
Imagine her walking on his face.
You know, someone told me once she looks like a package of hot dogs in a supermarket that is shrink wrapped. Do you agree with that statement?
She looks like a bag filled with pudding or mango pulp.
Nobody meaner than Tamina. Well, showing her support for her Samoan cousin.
Well, hope we don't get.
And then Shayna, who talk about someone whose stock has fallen since debuting on the main roster, came up as a threat to Becky Lynch for WrestleMania and has pretty much been an afterthought ever since.
It's the main roster curse. Every time you get called up, you get more money, but get less opportunities. I'll tell you that.
A couple of lasers they have going off right there. One or two.
They got more than one or two lasers. Look at those. All those lights. It's not going to hide the bad booking. I'll tell you that.
Well, I may actually take a break right now to go and get a drink.
Oh, jeez.
To show the level of interest I have in that. Nia looks like a half-melted ice cream cone. How do you really feel? Chris, what is your most valuable piece? Chris, do you mean in general, or do you mean that we have for sale tonight? You like that one? Oh.
He's asking our most valuable piece, which is probably these two right here. I'd probably put New Day and then The Fiend. Tags right in. Can't see this ending too well.
In general, Chris, we have a lot of, if you can see way back here, those plaques, the middle one is signed by Undertaker from WrestleMania 28 with a piece of the ring rope when he wrestled Triple H in a Hell in the Cell at the WrestleMania in Miami. We probably have about a dozen different Undertaker WrestleMania plaques that go for good money on the secondhand market that our friends in WWE have set us up with. You know, someday we should do a show just on the memorabilia. Not only do we have here in the studio, we have a warehouse out back filled with stuff that I've probably forgotten about. We have a storage bin in Saugus, Massachusetts. Not a storage bin, but, a storage facility. And if you ever saw what my house looked like, you'd think that was the storage bin. But that would be interesting. Someday we're going to have to get rid of all this stuff, and we're probably going to have to do it either at a live event or do it almost like a flea market type sale online.
Or an auction setting like on a YouTube Live.
Yeah, or an eBay or something like that.
You could do a lot. Bring in Tony. He could auction them off.
But the big pieces we have tonight for sale as part of our drive to keep our great talk shows on the air. We've got this New Day 1 of 20 plaque signed by all three. It's got a piece of the Battleground and SummerSlam canvas on it. We've got this one of only 36 from what should have been WrestleMania 36 weekend, framed and matted, signed by Bray Wyatt as The Fiend. We've got this one signed by Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, Becky Lynch. We've got the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view 11x14 poster as Bray Wyatt as The Fiend. We've got these, we showed them off already, some of these NXT roster posters. We've got a TakeOver one. We've got, what else do we got? We got the Hulk Hogan 11x17 SummerSlam poster. So we get some really great stuff. And again, not only do you get a great collectible, not only do you get a shout out on the air from WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, but you're going to help keep the show on the air, especially around Christmas time. We've done great with the merchandise, but we're putting it out there now because the sooner the better. We'd love to bring more great talent in. There is certainly a wrestling legend we'd like to have with us next month here in September. We have another individual that looks to be joining us every week, like Tony Atlas and Marty Jannetty, starting in September. We have some episodes with Brutus Beefcake we've already taped, including at 11 o'clock tonight. If you've missed it, fans, subscribe to the YouTube channel. At 11 o'clock tonight, it's the premiere of Wrestling Insiders, Strutting and Cutting. Brutus Beefcake joins us. We talk about some of the issues that wrestling veterans face, and we remember the late, great Ugandan giant Kamala James Harris. That's after Payback tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern. So set a reminder for it. Did you just yawn?
I said, oof.
Oh, well, everyone else was yawning at the match. I'm sorry.
Because Nia's a little stiff.
Dan is the Mother Teresa for my neglected wrestling heroes. Well, you know what, Chris? That means a lot to me. I'm sure you didn't exactly mean it quite like that. But you know what? It is a tough go for professional wrestlers once they leave the industry. Unlike virtually every form of entertainment, actors, actresses, musicians, virtually every athlete in every form of sport, there is no union protection in professional wrestling. There is no retirement benefit for these folks. And for those that say, well, save your money, for those that say, well, they chose to get into it, sure they did. But at the same time, they don't deserve to leave what many perceive to be a worked, fake environment where their bodies are just as beaten up and abused as any football player, any boxer, any other athlete, and to have a very difficult after professional life. It bothers me an awful lot. It's always bothered me an awful lot. Could some of the guys have made better decisions? Sure. But when you're on the road, like some of the veterans, like Tony and Marty, not like nowadays when during normal times, a WWE wrestler is on 4 days on, 3 days off, 4 days on, 3 days off. You had guys that were on the road 80, 90, 100 days in a row without a day off. They didn't have a regionalized travel schedule like they have now. To be able to mask the pain, to be able to continue to work, they needed the help of alcohol. They needed the help of different forms of medication, whether they be legal or illegal, because in professional wrestling back then, with no guaranteed contracts, if you didn't wrestle, you didn't get paid. You get paid nothing. You needed to work in order to survive, whether you were in good shape or whether your body was broken. So I think these guys deserve a better end of life than they have. And if we can do something here in this studio to make that happen, I think that's a great thing. If we can have Tony Atlas here to share his stories and entertain you guys, bring you back to the good old days of professional wrestling for a little while, escaping the sports entertainment garbage of 2020, I find I'm doing a great thing for the profession that I love so much by being able to do that. If we can help Marty Jannetty have a little income while he can barely walk on an ankle that needs to be surgically repaired, I think we're doing a great thing. With Kamala before he passed away, it's a long story, but we worked with WWE to try and get him a new pair of legs after he had them both amputated due to diabetes. So there's a lot of great things we've done. We've partnered with the nonprofit Cauliflower Alley Club to try and raise money for a lot of these guys, and we've done a lot of things on these shows to try and raise money for these guys. It's very, very important to us. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs. We like to talk about the sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle. We like to talk about the good times, the bad times, but we try to avoid as many of the bad times as we can with these guys. So have I gone on too long about that?
No, it's perfectly said.
I'm glad I have your permission.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Even though I don't get to talk.
Smokey, you're right. Very few wrestlers are well off. The business never paid them enough. Right now in 2020, these folks we're watching right now, as eye-rolling as it is a lot of the times, they're being paid pretty well. What they should be paid, if you look at what WWE pays to their talent compared to other forms of sport and entertainment, you'd be really surprised. But they're doing much better than the guys of the 90s, the 80s, who are the ones right now, in a lot of cases, living in poverty. And that's what I think is so wrong.
And they work a lot more than professional athletes today. Because football players play, 16 games a year? You know, besides preseason and postseason.
Yeah.
But these guys, they'll wrestle how many hundred matches a year?
You're talking about nowadays?
Nowadays.
You might find a few over 100, but not too many. Smokey with the donation, baby. Mwah. We love you, kiddo. Whatever alias you're going by this week. And I know there's many of them.
Just like me.
You know, I got 4 eyes. You're not going to fool me, kid. I'm going to figure them all out. Thank you very much. We are sincere people. Who wrote that? That was Chris. Aw. Tar Heel Tad 64, you guys are to be commended for the help you give. Thanks from us fans. We try. That's the way I was brought into this business. We were taught that this business is a brotherhood. Now, is there a lot of jealousy in this brotherhood? Yes. Is there backstabbing that goes on in this brotherhood? Yes. But at the end of the day, we were taught we have to look after each other. My friend Paul Bearer, that's been here in the studio many times, that is no longer with us here physically, but is with us in spirit, that's how he wanted me to be. The late Boston bad boy Tony Rumble welcomed me into his Century Wrestling Alliance / NWA New England promotion when I was a ninth grader, a 13-year-old kid. That's how he taught me to be. So you know what? I think I'd be disrespecting those people that let me live my dream if I didn't try to live up to those expectations that were put into my brain. The lessons I learned when I worked with WWE were very different in different ways and very valuable in different ways. But as far as the brotherhood mentality goes, that's what I had instilled in my brain when I was a teenager, and now pushing the big 4-0 in a couple weeks, it's still stuck in my head. So I think that's a good thing. Jay Fleming, have you ever had any doings with Canada's greatest athlete, Iron Mike Sharp? Unfortunately, I never met Iron Mike Sharp. He passed away a couple of years ago. Mike had a rough end of life from what I was told. I would have loved to have interviewed him. I bet he had some great stories. He was certainly I don't know if he was exactly the greatest athlete Canada ever had, but I bet you he was the cleanest. I don't know if you're familiar with Mike's stories in the showering after live events and before live events, but he was a clean man. Iron Mike Sharp was prepared for coronavirus decades before coronavirus hit. And with that said, fans, we're not going to go anywhere. The Prodigy is going to take over. I need to stretch my legs, and I need to get a drink.
All right.
Can you man the fort for a moment?
Yeah, I
All
can man it during this.
You are the man, baby.
During this match. Oh, God. 2 submissions at the same time here. Kirifuda clutch.
Oh, boy.
And a modified Texas
Oh, boy.
cloverleaf.
Geez, I hope I'm not leaving at the wrong time to miss this.
No, I think you're leaving at the right time.
All right, well,
here we go.
I thought that as soon as I saw the entrances. Now, I think as I wander out of the studio, since my microphone's still on, the fans can still hear me. Don't worry. I'm not going to the restroom.
We got new women's tag team champions there, Dan.
I really left
You
at the
left
right
at the
time.
best part. You left at the
Do we have something nice and
climax
cold?
of
How
it,
about
as I
Powerade? That
sit
sounds
here
good.
by myself. Even though he doesn't let me talk at all. What are you going to do? What do you guys think about I can't see the chat, but he'll see it in a second when he gets back. What do you guys think of the new women's tag team champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler? Kind of a thrown together team. How is that, Dan? He's drinking his Powerade there.
Ice cold, baby.
Yeah.
I should have brought my water bottle with me, but you know what? If I was a man of intelligence, that's what I would have done.
Your water bottle's right here.
But I didn't bring it with me to fill up.
Oh, what are you going to do?
You know what? I'm going to see how much more I need.
Yeah.
Wrestling fans, get the merch. Who else do we got? Yeah, show off some 8x10s while I fill off the water, baby.
Yeah.
WrestleMania Superstores, 1 of 35 or 36, depending on the year. Show them off, Vanna White.
Yeah. Becky Lynch.
Give him a little Sarge Russo.
From WrestleMania 36, would have been in the store, but obviously not because of the COVID era. This is from WrestleMania 35. This is 30 out of 35. There's only 35 of them, signed by the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, former Intercontinental Champion, and now new Intercontinental Champion from WrestleMania 35. This is 22 out of 35. Jeff Hardy. He's a little lost in WWE right now with his brother in AEW. Those are the ones we have now. And then here we have Sasha Banks, who actually just lost her Women's Tag Team Championship. What are you going to do?
So it's a great time to get it. Get it when she's losing.
She just lost. You know what? Buy her 8x10. Make her feel a little happier from losing her prestigious Women's Tag Team title.
All right. I got my Powerade and I got my ice cold water now. I finished my energy drink.
Going to be like a camel.
You sound like my good friend Ayanna Pollock.
Whoever that is.
At the salon, she used to say, I reminded her of a camel with the amount of water that I drank every day.
Well, I don't drink water, but
Ayanna had a build very similar to Nia Jax.
oh, man. What do you think
tell
is
you.
up next for the women's tag team champions?
I can only hope I don't tune in to find out.
Well, this might be another rematch for this week. Because Bayley and Sasha are on SmackDown, and those two, Nia and Shayna, they're on Raw. So now they're...
I think it would do Bayley and Sasha Banks a great service if they were only on one show a week.
Well, now they will be because they lost the tag titles.
And who do we... Tired? I'm caught up in... Help me. Who did we miss? Tar Heel Tad 64, baby. Are you from North Carolina, South Carolina? You're one of our people. I love the Carolinas. Who was I talking about that to? We were talking to Marty Jannetty's good friend DB yesterday about how much I love the Carolinas. I don't know if you guys, have any of you been to the movie theater now that they reopened? I went for the first time since March last night. And you saw the same movie I did.
Unhinged, it was pretty good. Some holes in the movie, but a lot of movies these days have
What
holes.
were the holes in Unhinged?
See, I'm in a wrestling mode right now. You can't get me in a movie mode.
We'll talk about it later.
Go on a tangent. But it was a good movie overall. I just think some of it was kind of crazy. Why didn't you call the police earlier? Why couldn't you get help earlier? But I don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'd give it was a solid 7.
That's about what I'd give it, a 7.
Solid 7. Nothing crazy, nothing bad.
Tar Heel Tad, where in North Carolina are you from, buddy? I love going down to North Carolina. We've had some great live events down there with our Millennium Wrestling Federation events. I love flying in and out of Charlotte and Fayetteville. It's a great area, great part of the country. One of the few places I think I could live outside of Massachusetts. What is up next, fans? Well, you know what?
It's a Raw match.
It's a Raw match.
Get your Raw superstars.
Why don't we show off a little, put over the good friend, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Where's his stuff, as we like to call it? There we go. How about this? Let's put some of these bad boys out. To put that one down by you. We have Tony Atlas autographed art prints. Maybe put it over Bray Wyatt for now. Tony, that is a print of his Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3, face-to-face, 11x17 print, signed by Tony. Here we have a really nice drawing of a match between Tony and the Iron Sheik from Japan in 1980, signed by Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Also, we'll put it over Bray for a few minutes. We have John Cena, drawn by Tony, autographed by Tony of John Cena, the offspring of John Cena Sr. He came from his loins. Again, you purchase one of these drawings. Not only do you get the drawing, you get a bonus autographed 8x10 photo, and you get a shout out from Tony himself when he returns to Wrestling Insiders in September with brand new episodes. We've got merchandise galore. We just need you to buy them. Tar Heel Tad, Littletown, Clinton, near Fayetteville. Okay, I'm very familiar with the Fayetteville airport. I love coming down there. I was there in a couple weeks before Christmas time. And it was funny enough, when I went to visit some of our MWF associates down there, SmackDown happened to be in town. And WWE, again, was gracious enough to send over some passes, and we were able to take him and his kids to see WWE for the first time. So it worked out. It was a pretty cool weekend. Always nice to get away.
Well, I haven't been away in a while. Well, away.
Yeah.
We would have been, where were we?
Yeah.
We should have been in Vegas in a couple weeks, right?
For the Cauliflower Alley Club, yeah.
Technically, we should have been in April. We would have been there.
Yeah.
We would have been there for
You're
the
rubbing
NFL,
it in.
for the NFL draft as well. But I had a lot of trips that were canceled as well. But what are you going to do?
We're getting a lot of messages on Facebook. Let me retweet what we got going on here for the fine folks at home. Fans, again, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what are some of the other great social media sites?
What do you mean?
Oh, some help you out.
I don't know what you mean.
Just share the link, baby. Rick B up in Maine, he's sharing the link.
The three main ones, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Are you sharing them? Keep
No.
sharing, brother. No. Are you sharing them? No. What a prodigy.
When was the first time you asked me? Just right now.
Your
I didn't know
long
that.
socks. Every time there's a show of any kind, retweet, share, subscribe, thumbs up.
Just asking me now. Oh, you didn't share? Oh, I didn't ask you before. Oh, okay.
Tar Heel Tad, I don't know when we're ever going to have a live event again down in North Carolina, but we hope to. We were out more towards Indian reservation country out in Pembroke. I'm trying to think of some of the other cities, but out in that area, it's probably about, you'd probably know better than me. That's about a half an hour east of Fayetteville. But I love it down there. I love going to visit. Rick B says, new champs and nobody cares. Jay Fleming, if anything, at least Nia and Shayna are believable champions. Jay Fleming, I'll give you that. I may not care either way, but at least they come off as a better representation than Bayley and Sasha trying to do middle school talent show level Eddie Guerrero and Macho Man moves and then cry with each other when they're over. But coming up next, I'm interested in this one, Keith Lee and Randy Orton. Keith Lee, I liked an awful lot until I saw him on Raw this week. And the promos he did, it almost seemed like he was trying to do a parody of himself. I don't know if that's how WWE wanted it presented. I don't know if that's how he wanted it presented. But it didn't work. It looks like he bought a couple of pair of the Berserker John Nord's boots and made a skirt of some kind out of them.
They are ruining him quick. It doesn't even flow well.
If anybody's going to make him look good, it's Randy Orton, who I think is underrated of a 13-time world champion as you can get. I can't think of too many bad matches outside of that horrendous feud he had with Bray Wyatt that he's had bad matches in his virtually entire WWE run.
In that whole feud, he looked like he was just phoning it in. That whole feud.
They just didn't click. No. Luckily, it was only 2 matches.
He didn't seem like he was into it. And the build was actually not that bad with him and the Wyatt family winning the Rumble, going to Mania and beating him. It didn't seem like he really cared that much.
I don't believe that at all.
What?
That he didn't care.
It looked like it from the product. It didn't seem like he was invested in it that much.
How can you tell by looking at him if he was invested in that feud or not, Mr.
You could
Prodigy?
tell by the it wasn't that good.
Sometimes guys just don't click, and those were 2 of them. There's a lot of guys, and as much as I like Bray an awful lot. There's just some guys with his style he doesn't click with. And Randy was definitely one of them. I like that little CGI snake or whatever that is.
Remember the one from Orlando?
Awful. Awful. Awful.
He's like fine wine, too. He keeps getting better with age. It's probably the best he's looked in a while.
His WrestleMania 36 match really wasn't all that great, but I attribute that to not having fans. I think if the fans were there to react to what they were doing, I think that match would have been a lot better. I thought the quote-unquote greatest wrestling match of all time was very, very good, even without a crowd.
And that they, pre-taped it and edited it and reshot it like 3 times.
And then there's that.
Yeah.
Keith Lee looks like a combo between a Dragon Ball Z character and a Hawaiian dancer. All right, well, bask in his glory.
Do you bask in his glory?
If you watch wrestling, if you watch Wrestling Insiders with Brutus Beefcake tonight at 11 o'clock, his shirt isn't all that much different than what Keith Lee has on right now. Don't miss it, baby. Set a reminder if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel for free. Beefcake tonight at 11 o'clock. Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas remembers Bullet Bob Armstrong. And then we're back with another Party with Marty, Thursday night at 9 p.m. with Marty Jannetty. We were expecting Marty to chime in tonight on the live chat during the pay-per-view. Marty sometimes sleeps at odd hours and does odd things. And, well, maybe it's best if he's not fully alert that he stays away from social media.
He's probably on the phone with some of his friends now.
No. Have you guys seen either episode of our new series with Marty Jannetty, Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty? Very interested in your feedback. What's that?
How many have debuted so far?
Two official episodes for the Thursday nights. This will be the third Thursday night at 9
taped about
this week.
50 at least.
We've taped enough Thursday night episodes probably to take us in through late December or early January.
Jeez.
And I also have to ask you fans, who do you have on this one, Orton or Keith Lee?
If Keith Lee doesn't win, I think it's a waste. Randy can take the loss, but I think there might be some chicanery involved with Drew McIntyre.
You'd think that would be the main event for Clash of Champions on September 27th.
What, Orton and McIntyre?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you meant a triple threat.
Oh, no, a little too soon for Big Keith.
Depends on how high they are on him. Oof.
Tie heel Tad likes Orton. Maria. She likes Randy Orton. Slick Rick thinks it's Orton. Jay Fleming says the only thing he's heard about Marty recently has to do with his murder confession or something along those lines. Well, I told you, if you ever told me a month ago our interview would be in TMZ and People Magazine, Fox News, Variety Fair, the New York Post, the New York Times, amongst others, I would have said you were out of your mind. But the life and times of Dan Marotti sometimes, you never know what to expect.
Maybe a couple hiccups, but...
And then some.
Yeah. But the thing is, with you got to predict the hiccups somehow.
As I was telling you earlier, we'd love to have Randy's dad, our good friend Cowboy Bob Orton, come back to the studio. He took part in a WrestleMania 1 roundtable shoot with himself, Paul Orndorff, the Iron Sheik, myself, John Cena Sr., and wrestling historian The Jackal, available on the Patreon now. Can stream that, the entire studio shoot collection, and have early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider shows for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It doesn't get much better than that. That cup of coffee at Starbucks is going to go down the drain at some point that day. You're going to help keep Wrestling Legends working if you subscribe to the Patreon. It doesn't get much better than that.
You drink coffee?
I have never had a cup of coffee in my life. Some people are fascinated by that.
I've had one sip of coffee.
One sip?
One sip. And
it almost sounds like Bill Clinton in '92 when he said, I didn't inhale.
It was awful.
It was awful.
I don't know. Coffee and tea.
Coffee and tea.
Those are nasty.
I like iced tea.
I can't drink
as long as it's none of that. You know what, Tie Heel Tad, what's going on with the iced tea in North Carolina? The first time I went, I entertained so many people as I almost choked on my raspberry iced tea, I believe at a Ruby Tuesday. It was one of the worst tasting things I've ever had in my life.
You think Orton works good with the bigger guys?
I think Randy Orton works good with everybody except Bray Wyatt.
What's your favorite feud of Orton's? One of his 10 feuds with Cena? Edge?
Without a doubt. 2004. They had that series was fantastic and very, very, very underrated. If you subscribe to WWE Network fans, I implore you to go back and watch some Edge and Randy Orton in 2004 and tell me that wasn't some of his best work in his career. And that says quite a lot considering the body of work he's put together. Maria says, Marty's shoots were very interesting. He has a lot of wrestling experience and history. He can really talk. He's funny. He is funny. Jay Fleming, has Marty ever discussed the Rockers tag title win that never happened because of a broken rope? We talk a little bit about it in the premiere. When we discuss Shawn Michaels, we have a much more in-depth version of it coming soon. Marty was with us 3 days last weekend, and between what we taped then and in July, we have enough weekly episodes to get through the end of 2020 into early 2021. So there's a lot of ground covered with Mr. Jannetty. The party with Marty isn't going to end on Thursday nights at 9 anytime soon. And again, if you want to enjoy them before Thursday night, that Patreon, Slick Rick and Stoney, they got 3 episodes early with Brutus Beefcake, and the next 2 episodes with Tony Atlas available now. Why wait? You guys rule. And we know not everybody can afford to financially contribute to what you do. If you come and join us on YouTube, it means a lot. If you could share it on social media, it means a lot. We just want to keep growing these shows enough so we can bring more guys in, more girls in, to give them more income and have a better quality of life.
It's a physical matchup.
It sure is.
If you're watching, but draping DDT.
He was pretty low. That wasn't the biggest drop he's ever felt, but you know what?
Well, Lee's a pretty agile guy. He could take some good bumps, more than the other big guys in the company.
I like how he's got on that Ed Leslie muscle shirt right about now.
Or now the new Beefcake muscle shirt.
Randy Orton showboating to the television screens.
We got 2 matches after this, the tag match and then the triple threat.
You know better than I do on that, buddy. It's 8:40 p.m. I know that much. Randy looks like he's ready for an RKO out of nowhere.
He's calling for the RKO. Probably won't hit it. Nope. Oh, here we go. Pop up. Powerbomb. Pop up, sit out, powerbomb. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Interesting. Good idea to give the new guy the win, but if you're going to put Randy Orton in the title match at the next pay-per-view,
it's not going to look that good.
Lose clean.
Unless they have a triple threat match. Or maybe they do Lee and McIntyre straight up.
And have maybe Orton interfere and they do Orton and McIntyre at Hell in a Cell, maybe?
Unless you do Lee and McIntyre, Orton runs in, you do a triple threat at Hell in a Cell.
Well, I think right now WWE needs to create more superstars, new superstars, and having them win is the way to go. If you want to get Keith Lee over as a top-tier guy, he's got to continue to beat everybody. If you start doing the 50-50s, when he wins some, loses some, the people aren't going to rally behind him and take him as a top-tier main eventer. If that's the plan for Lee, good win. If the plan is for him to start losing in a couple weeks to, Andrade and people like that, bad decision to have Orton lay down for the 3 count.
I would have them do what they did with Aleister Black. When he came up, he didn't lose at all. They gave him such a strong...
He's just kind of a forgotten man.
He has so much talent, too. And then they redid his character last week, and he's dressed in all black. He's got the eye patch. But having him as a heel...
You think his name is Steven Nichols?
Whoever that is. Oh, here he is.
Ollie, baby.
But Aleister Black, he has a lot of talent. He's another one of those guys that just sits in the back and does nothing. But when they brought him up...
Here she is, the robot.
They made him so strong. And then...
Kind of like Hollywood Barani.
Yeah. But then they did nothing with him. But that's why I think if they start Keith Lee off on an undefeated streak...
I think Rick B got the joke about the Brutus Beefcake shirt. He's already seen the episode on Patreon. Jay Fleming, I don't like the booking. No way Orton should lose clean to a rookie.
I don't think so.
If Vince pushes Lee down our throats, we'll have Roman Reigns 2.0 on our hands. Maybe. I certainly didn't like the Lee promos this past Monday on Raw. It almost felt like he was doing a parody of himself. But it was 1 week. Hopefully things continue to be on the upward swing. It was certainly a big win going over on Randy Orton. Is Kayla giving him that blank stare as he walks off?
Comes that tag match.
Who's the tag? Oh, the
The
Mysterios.
Mysterios versus
Well, you know
the
what?
Apostles or whatever the hell they
In between matches, what else? Do we have some? We got Braun.
You got Seth Rollins' wife over here.
Just take this one. We got a Seth. We got a. Hey, show him off, baby.
Seth Rollins in the upcoming match here. Trying to think of, that's a small arena right there. Look at that arena. It's like a gym.
It should tell you the city on somewhere on the poster.
San Diego. Oh, that is San Diego, but that's the older venue. Yeah, that one's pretty small. It's SmackDown there one time.
That's one of 35, I believe. You could tell the people that, but that's all right.
30.
They can guess.
All of these are 1 out of 35.
Some of them are 1 out of 36, depending on the year.
1 out of 36. Let's stop the books now. 1 out of 35, exclusive limited edition AJ Styles giving the phenomenal forearm to Baron Corbin with the hair. And then 1 out of 50. Whoa.
That's the Karrion Kross
Karrion
NXT
Kross.
photo.
Scarlett.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. Are we frozen?
Are we?
I don't know. Guys, if you can hear us, can you type I can hear you? Anybody? Anybody? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
We're
Can you hear
frozen.
me? Can you hear me? Nope, they say we're not.
Oh, no, wait, never mind. No, we're not.
What would we do without you guys? It looks like my computer froze for a few minutes.
Mm.
The computer came up with a message that said his QVC presentation of those autograph photos was so bad the internet doesn't even need to work.
Yeah.
Keep going. Come on, Joe. Give him the scoops, baby.
What? You gave me the 3 you wanted me
come
to
on.
show off.
Keep hustling, baby. Keep showing them off. Fans, these are all for sale. You help keep Wrestling Legends working. You keep us bringing you more great content.
Yeah.
We're doing it for Reno Chastain down in Palm Bay, Florida.
I can talk now. There's Adam Cole. Again, 1 out of 36.
You almost seem surprised.
Yeah, 1 out of 36. Well, you make it seem like a big deal that it. Well,
No,
1 out
we're
of
trying to let the
35.
fans know that these are very, very limited edition.
Limited, very limited.
Right.
Charlotte Flair, 1 out of 36. Signed limited edition.
I tell you this, if they do a WrestleMania 37 photo, those breasts aren't going to look the same with the work she's having done on them now.
Yeah.
Poor lady's in a lot of pain.
This AJ Styles with his crew, the OC.
Signed by all three?
All 3. That's actually really good. All 3. It's number 2 out of 36. This is from Knoxville, Tennessee. This picture. It's cool. They're all different colors too.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Something that
What are you watching over
Signed
there?
by Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles, in case he wanted you to guess.
The wrestling fans, they know.
All right. But you never know.
They're signed by Rhea Ripley, 33 out of 36. It's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Rhea Ripley, she faced, was it Charlotte at WrestleMania for the
Yeah.
NXT Women's title?
And she lost her title because Charlotte won the Royal
She
Rumble.
lost.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble that we were at in Houston, Texas, the day after I visit to the Houston Zoo.
Yeah, where Edge came back.
At the Houston Zoo?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
McIntyre, current WWE champion. Well, not in this picture. Oh, this was in Houston, Texas.
That was when he won the Rumble, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's the exclusive WrestleMania Superstore 8x10.
That's a pretty cool one to have. In
Yeah.
Houston, Texas. Won the Rumble. It's for WrestleMania. 7 out of 36, too. It's pretty cool.
So we got a lot of great collectibles, fans. It's better to get it from us than on eBay. Because eBay, it's a great site, but they hustle. They take a big cut of the sale, and as I noted earlier, and I resent it, they take a cut of the shipping and handling. So in order for us to ship it to you, we got to charge you more than that. Because we have to pay a couple bucks for a top loader to keep the stuff nice. We get the nice bubble package so nothing breaks or there's no damage done to it. And then they take,
It's highway robbery.
it's highway robbery, yeah. But again, we have the Tony Atlas artwork available. That Hogan and Andre one of the WrestleMania 3 face-off. I love that 11x17 autograph poster from Tony. We've got the John Cena Tony drawing. We've got Tony facing the Iron Sheik from Tokyo, Japan. Again, you buy it, it's yours to keep. You get a shout out from Tony on the air when he returns to Wrestling Insiders next month. And we'll even throw in an autographed Legends photo. It's a pretty good deal.
It's a good gimmick.
We try and hook the fans up. We love you guys because we've never, in fact, if it isn't for you guys watching, if it isn't for you getting merchandise, doing a super chat, a donation, just a kind thought sharing on social media, we don't have this show. It's the same thing with our Boston Wrestling MWF live events. If the fans don't buy tickets, we don't have a show. So if we don't try and give you something to enjoy and respect you and consider you to be part of our inner circle, we don't exist. Him and I sit here watching Payback alone. He may be, well, I don't even want to tell you what he might be doing if no one was watching. You can use your imagination. His right hand has a mind of its own. He's almost been thrown off 3 airplanes since I've known him.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't do any Lanny Poffo
no, just in the hotel. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah, in close confinement.
Rick B, how much for the Hogan and Andre Tony print? That is 40 smackers plus shipping and handling. Not only do you get the Hogan and Andre poster, it comes in that top loader, which goes for about $3 or $4. You get a bonus Legends autograph photo, and Tony will give you a big time thank you shout out on Wrestling Insiders next month. You can't go wrong. I know it would look good in the B Estates up in Maine. One man's opinion. It's available now here on the Payback Watch-Along, as he would call it, from Western Connecticut. Southwestern Connecticut, I apologize. And the PayPal is open, fans. The PayPal is open.
It's a nice drawing.
Tar Heel Tad says Charlotte is the best women's wrestler in WWE. I think she's the best athlete, bar none.
And over the men, too?
No, for the females. I'm sorry if that came out wrong.
Well, I think she's the best wrestler for sure. I mean,
I think as far as the female wrestlers go, the one that I enjoy the most is Asuka.
I like her.
I remember my good friend, the little Dutch boy, Wes Simcoe, the master of the mother-daughter action, the man that awoke Vicente Rey Wasco in his breasts
to go for
in Phoenix, Arizona, to go for a hike at 4:30 in the morning. When I made the comment to him, Asuka works like she's one of the boys, he agreed with me.
Well, what did he say to you? I like when you do his impersonation.
Do you want to go for a hike? He's a little fella. It's not his fault.
He just wanted to go for a hike with Vicente Rey in his tent.
I'll tell you this. I'm glad I wasn't woken up at 4:30 to be asked if I wanted to go on the hike.
If you woke me up at 4:30 to ask to go for a hike, I'd say yes and then leave you in the mountains.
Unless there was an envelope of cash being offered to me at 4:30 in the morning, there's no reason to wake me up.
I'm in a coma at 4:30 in the morning. What do you think of this match here?
Well, it's something.
This is the first time that Murphy and Rollins have matched their ring gear as a tag team. I like that.
They're like a modern day Hot Foundation now. There we go.
Another arm drag.
I
tell you, Mysterio's kid is not that bad.
He knows Vicente Rey Wasco. Did you know that?
No.
They actually had a picture of them taken together. And he does not like the fact that people say he looks like Vicente Rey.
Really? I mean, the only thing he's missing, obviously,
are the girls.
The girls.
Ray's looking very bright tonight. It's almost like he wanted to be a Thunderdome himself. Don't forget, fans, we have those WrestleMania Superstore autograph photos of Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 35 and WrestleMania 36. We also have the Seth Rollins WrestleMania 35 Superstore autograph photo, 1 of 35. Of course, at WrestleMania 35, Seth defeated Brock Lesnar to become WWE champion.
This feud's been going on for too long. I like Ray's ring gear, though.
It's very bright. I think the problem is Seth Rollins has just turned into one of the most misused talents in professional wrestling. Seth Rollins is another one that's blocked us on Twitter. He's not a fan of, he didn't like some of our comments about his Monday Night Messiah character. And I'll tell you this, my thoughts on Monday Night Messiah have nothing to do with what I think of Seth Rollins as a talent. I think he's a great talent. I think the Monday Night Messiah persona is boring, it's unoriginal, it's forced, it's not him. It's doing a disservice to Seth Rollins, and it's doing a disservice to WWE and WWE fans. I still think that's an elite professional wrestler in the ring. It's not his fault he's straddled with Monday Night Messiah. But if I were him now, you're talking about 8-9 months into the course of this gimmick, it's not working, it's not over, I would push for a change. One man's opinion.
I think the same thing, so you can make that too. But I do think it's forced. I mean, it is somewhat original.
I like that spot. That was good.
That was cool. Somewhat original. I mean, you don't really see too much of that type of religious side of, stuff going on. But still, it's not him. Just let Seth Rollins be Seth Rollins. He's the type of person, you don't need to give him a gimmick. You don't need to give him a character. Just let Seth be Seth. You don't have to force him to be someone he's not. Like you said, he's an elite athlete in WWE.
As Jay Fleming said, Ray looks like the Red Rooster.
He looks like, it almost looks like it's Superman. It's got the blue, red, and yellow.
Almost look like Becky if she has a landing strip. Buddy Murphy, I don't see it. I think he's technically sound, but there's nothing about him that says superstar. There's nothing about him that says I want to see more of him.
So you know what he screams? Mid-Carter.
Maybe he'd block us on Twitter too.
Oh.
I don't know the man.
Well,
I've met Seth before, and that's why I was surprised. We got the old Blockola. We got the old Blockola from Seth Ola.
Seth tends to get a little soft sometimes.
Well,
he's like Baron.
Apparently not with Becky.
I'd get soft with her, but she doesn't do anything for me. But Seth, I don't know. He gets a little soft. He's like Baron. They read into too much of that, social media stuff.
If we were attacking him as a human being, sure, get pissed off about something like that.
He gets soft about.
But it's about his persona as a professional wrestler. That's not a slight against him. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he's one of the best wrestlers right now in the industry. It's just his persona sucks. It's uninteresting. It's not going to sell any tickets. It's not selling much merchandise. I still don't understand how you have Rey Mysterio's son kicking out of a former world champion's finish.
It wasn't a finish. It was a Falcon Arrow.
He never used that as a finish?
No.
Ever?
No.
Well, he still shouldn't be kicking out of it. How about that? He shouldn't be kicking out of anything that a former world champion throws his way.
This is what, his third match in WWE?
He shouldn't be kicking out of a former world champion stuff.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's his third match. So I'm agreeing.
You agree to some degree.
Well, fully. I don't know. He's like young 20s, and he's, working like he's been in the business for like 10 years, 15 years.
The more they overexpose him, the worse off it is for him. I would have kept it at one match and then maybe send him to the Performance Center. But he'll be a Zach Gowen. He'll be, what was that other guy's name? Colin Delaney.
Oh, yeah.
Those types. Hopefully not. Being Rey Mysterio's son will help, but it's just now is not the time for him to be a regular character.
Especially when they already have so many people there to choose from. Just on the main roster, not even NXT, that people they can work with and put into storylines. They don't really need him. I mean, you already have Ray. What are you going to do? You're going to have another Ray on the roster?
Jay Fleming says, maybe the Messiah thing would work better if there were more people in the faction. Isn't a Messiah supposed to have a lot of followers? Well, he has Buddy Murphy. He had Authors of Pain before one of them got injured.
And Austin Theory.
Austin Theory was in it before he ran into a little Me Too trouble on Twitter. Maybe Retribution will be his gang. Who knows? I think
AOP
that's.
are supposed to be returning soon, but I don't think they're supposed
Thank God.
But
Oh, I was getting worried on that one.
but I don't think they're supposed to be going back with him.
So they'll just forget it.
Yeah, they'll basically just forget it. I would just keep it Rollins and Murphy for now. Forget the Messiah thing. And I don't know.
Yeah, I think Seth Rollins has the ability to be a great heel. I think he's better as a heel than as a baby face.
Go look at back when he was at the Shield. Look back at 2015.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I agree. That was him at his peak during that time period. This is just a waste of his talent.
Because he was face from what, 2016 to now? So when you look at it, as a singles competitor, he's only been heel for about a year of his career. A little more than that.
Rick B, time for a Cena Fabo Pop. Let me tell you, Rick, I wish I had one of the Marty Jannetty versions of the Fabo Pop about now, because my back is on fire sitting here for so long. Thank God this isn't going to be one of those 4-hour pay-per-views that they used to have before coronavirus time, as those were just too long to sit through.
The COVID era.
The COVID era. Russo swerve. Dominic joined Seth. I tell you, Jay Fleming, I thought that was going to come long ago. Baby Marati and I had that conversation early on when Dominic was showcased, that I thought he was going to wind up with Seth. But I think they like the family dynamic for now, at the very least.
I thought when they had Dominic in the ring by himself, and I think Rollins and Murphy came from behind, I thought that's when they were going to switch it. But what are you going to do?
As we're hearing from WWE Hall of Famers, WWE legends, they all want to come to the studio. I think that's so cool.
Well, I mean, they don't have that many bookings right now, so it's always good to get them, in here.
Yeah, when they're poor. That's a nice way to put it.
Well, if they're not doing anything, they're not making that much money, they're not getting any bookings, then...
Wrestling legends, if you want to be on Wrestling Insiders, there's no better time than when you have no other alternative. I'm just kidding. I know you mean well, like we mean well.
Yeah.
Give him a little Sarge Russo. All right. Don't forget, fans, if you want to own a piece of Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins, we have those WrestleMania Superstore autograph 8x10s. We can show them to you right now. We also have the great WWE T-shirt bundle fundraiser going on. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Baby, for the price of a WWE shop T-shirt, you get the shirt, you get an autographed photo, you get a WWE cup, and you get a shout-out on Wrestling Insiders from Tony Atlas. That and for all of our great merchandise. Because you're helping the family, baby. You're very quiet, Prodigy.
It was a good sequence right there.
You're deep in thought in the Thunderdome.
Well, it's a good tag team match. It's just been done to death because do this every week. It's been going on since before WrestleMania, I believe. And it's just boring at this point. The wrestling itself is good, but it's just so tiring for it to have it over and over and over again. Then they're going to have a singles match tomorrow night, too.
What is the singles match tomorrow night?
I told you before, Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins.
Oh.
They're going one-on-one tomorrow. I would have just ended it tonight. Have Dom and Mysterio go over, and that's that. And then, that
was a good little spot.
See, it's good wrestling, but...
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think this is the greatest group of athletes WWE has ever had at one time. It's just the presentation sucks, if I can be so honest.
Oh, nice gut buster. Caught him out of midair. That was tough. Super kick. Oh, we're getting a curb stomp. No. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No way. 1, 2. Oh. Just good right there. Another thing that's been done to death, the super kick.
Oh.
The amount of times, look at this. This is
from your lips to God's ears.
Look at this. He caught him in midair. Bang. Didn't look good from that angle. Looked good from the first one in real time. But that was a good move. I like that. I like original stuff. I don't like this super kicks and all that stuff. Oh, yeah. I caught him right in the chest.
Right in the mush.
There we go.
I wonder how many television sets they have set up for those
I know
fans.
they have like 2,400 square feet of the screens, but I don't know how many actual screens they have.
You know what it would be fun? Maybe for Clash of Champions we should apply, and you and I can be on one of those screens during the pay-per-view.
Can't
doing
talk.
our watch-along. They're not going to hear us.
I know they're not, but it's just, I don't know. Plus, they have duplicate screens too. Like if people back out and they don't have enough to go in, some people are on more than one screen. So you might have 1,000 spots, but sometimes there's people in, multiple, screens.
Well, I know our friend up in New Hampshire, Dave Carter, was on, I think, Raw the other night getting to do it.
People think they're, the tops because they're on those screens. Get in there for free. You're signing up. And then someone said they should be charging people for that. For signing in? Are you kidding me?
Charging people to put their face on one of the TVs?
They said they want to start charging people because of the stuff that was put on there the past week.
I still think that's insane.
Someone only offered that and as an alternative from the free stuff because of what people were putting on there on the screens. I don't think it's that bad of an idea to keep the people who are putting bad stuff up on there. But if it's only happening a few times.
As Jay Fleming noted, Kenny Omega wound up on, which I thought was kind of funny.
Omega was on there.
He really enjoyed it. Now look at that guy with the neon green shirt. You see him dead center, and then he's on two TVs almost on top of each other.
Then they have a moderator who watches all the screens.
How do you watch that many screens?
I think you can click through and see all of them. I think he just shuffles through them. I don't know how. Or there's a certain amount on his screen or something. Or they might have a few people that moderate.
My interest in Payback is fading awfully quick.
It's a good match. It's just...
I feel like I've seen it every week for months.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to the main event.
Oh. Hurricanrana. Oh, God. Double 619.
You got a 1238 coming up, no? Maybe not.
Oh, he's moving this one. Whoa. Oh, if he pins Murphy. There's a frog splash. Yeah, it's a 3 count.
Jay Fleming sees Angie Mysterio joining the Monday Night Messiah out of the book of Vince Russo. If that was the book of Vince Russo, that would probably be expected. What a night for the Mysterio family, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to have a little Mysterio in your house, brother, we have the WrestleMania 35 and 36 WrestleMania Superstore autograph photos, one of only 35 and one of only 36, about as rare of a Rey Mysterio collectible as you can get.
That's another thing. How many people in WWE right now do a frog splash?
Many.
That's another thing. I don't know.
I think anyone out there that's training to become a professional wrestler, wants to train to become a professional wrestler, my advice to you would be to this: study nothing after the year 1999. Because it's just a different industry.
It's all duplicated.
Try and do something original. What's old is new again, as they say. Look through old stuff and try and come up with something unique.
Yeah, this was kind of...
Hey, Smokey likes my ideas. You know what? I like that you like my ideas. How about that?
Well, that's pretty self-centered.
Well, I don't get many compliments in life. I got to take them as I get them. Again, fans, as we sit through yet another replay of replays, we got the great merchandise available. What do we have left? Just the pay-per-view? I mean, the main event?
Triple threat. And what time did I say it was going to end? 9:30, and it's 9:07.
All right. Well, you know what? The Tony Yacht is still available, fans. If you want some, come get some, as John Cena would say. We got the NXT autograph posters. We got the WrestleMania Superstore. Let's put out some great stuff for the main event, though. Oh, this one just sold. I got to mail that tomorrow. We'll put out Braun Strowman. We got the 11 by 14 Braun poster, which would look wonderful in your home. I just got, they sent me yesterday 6 of these of Bray Wyatt from the WrestleMania 36. Different than this one.
Let me see that one.
This is Edge.
Oh, well, I know that. Well, it's at the Rumble. We were there.
I know.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Well, no, I meant to bring the Bray Wyatt ones with me because they were mailed to my home.
Those are the ones you left.
Yeah. So I was mad at myself, believe it or not.
What else is new?
Oh, look at that. Hey, you know what about this one, folks? Forget about you, Sasha. We got another great Hulk Hogan piece. This is an 11 by 14 Hulk Hogan. He's got the Hulk Rules t-shirt on. This is probably, you're talking 1988, 1989 photo. Hulk signed between this one and that one over there on the wall. About 20 of these. Just this photo alone, the photo unsigned, went for about $20. I don't even know about now because WWE severed their relationship with PhotoFile, which does the pro photos for a lot of professional sports. But if you want a little bit of the Hulkster, we got the 11 by 14. We showed you earlier. We got the, where is it? The 11 by 17 of the Hulkster. He's everywhere, baby. The man is immortal. He'd look great in your home. And you help keep this show on the air. Again, we've got the New Day plaque. It's still shrink wrapped, signed by Kofi, Big E, Xavier Woods. It's got a piece of the ring from Battleground. It's got a piece of the ring from SummerSlam. More important, it's one of only 20. There's only 20 of these made. What a Christmas gift this would be for someone in your life. We've got the Edge WrestleMania Superstore autograph photo and so many more. We've got, to Matt's left, we've got the Hell in the Cell 11 by 14 poster signed by Bray Wyatt. Is that 1 out of 50?
35 out of 50. Yeah.
It's there are only 50 made of that one. In the middle dead center here, we've got one of only 36. Bray Wyatt WrestleMania 36. And it comes framed and matted. You know how much it costs to have something framed and matted nowadays? The frame and matting alone is probably went for $100. It's top-notch stuff. And right here, we've got the Bray Wyatt 11 by 14.
Braun Strowman, but
What did I call him?
Bray Wyatt.
Him too. We got the Braun Strowman 11 by 14 poster. Get these hands, it says on it. We still have the NXT TakeOver Phoenix 2019 poster signed by all 14 athletes. We've got the NXT roster poster from 2019 signed by all 15 superstars, including the ones Matt had to help me with. And we have the 4 Horsewomen autographed 11 by 14 poster signed by Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. There were only 25 of these made. They were going to be sold again WrestleMania 36 weekend, but coronavirus ruined WrestleMania 36 weekend. You can help us not only not have to take these to Los Angeles for WrestleMania, if there's a WrestleCon this year, but you can help Tony, Marty, Brutus, even Dan have a little something to eat. We get hungry here on the show.
A little more Domino's.
Well, this is the master of Domino's Pizza over here.
Well, not the pizza, but.
Oh, Dan, who was your favorite wrestler growing up? Now, were you talking about Jay Fleming when I first became a fan? Or was kind of life evolved? Tar Heel Tat hopes the Mysterio Rollins feud is over. I agree with you on that, brother. Jay Fleming, I'd have to say, when my first... This is going to be a long, dramatic pause.
Well, main event coming up here. Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. Hopefully you don't confuse them. But who do you got here? I don't know. This is so tough. I think the obvious pick right now is Roman Reigns. But I don't know if they want to go that route because they've seemed to be milking out a lot of feuds lately because with no fans and limited people to work with and stuff like that, they've been drawing out some of these feuds lately. So I think they might have Wyatt retain and maybe do Roman versus Bray Wyatt one-on-one at Clash of Champions. And then maybe you could see it prolonged even into Hell in a Cell. Who knows? But I mean, I'd love to see Wyatt and Reigns inside Hell in a Cell. I think they faced each other before inside Hell in a Cell.
Who?
Wyatt and Reigns. Let me look that up.
I know Wyatt. Yeah, that's what happens when you have 2 or 3 Hell in a Cell matches a year. No one cares, and you can't commit them to memory.
It was 2015, so I was right. So they faced
It was
each other.
Wyatt and Roman?
Yeah, 2015, Hell in a Cell.
That wasn't when they did Ambrose and Rollins?
I believe so.
And Wyatt kind of came in as a mirage or something?
I guess so.
Are you sure about that, kiddo?
I just looked it up.
Where did you look it up, Joe? Joey Scoops, baby.
WWE.com. Wyatt.
Something I just tweeted popped up on your phone.
Yeah.
All right, Sarge Russo, relax.
So, as I said about this will make it,
I can't even remember. Isn't that sad?
No. Wyatt Reigns, Hell in a Cell 2015. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. You know what would be crazy? Would be this triple threat inside the Hell in a Cell.
So more than once.
No.
Once isn't enough.
I'm just saying move this match inside Hell in a Cell. I'm not saying do it again at Hell in a Cell. I'm just saying I wish this was Hell in a Cell.
I'll say this. I don't think Roman Reigns should lose, and I don't think Bray Wyatt should lose. I don't think either man should be taking a pin on a B pay-per-view. As Rick B says, way Wyatt should win, which is the way Tony Atlas knows Bray. Way Wyatt.
I would have Roman hit the spear, Bray throws him out of the ring, and then pins Braun Strowman.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, will Otis get involved tonight?
It's a possibility. I could see Otis cashing in while everybody's
Otis.
down. He comes in, cashes in, gets a cheap pin over Braun Strowman. Boom. He doesn't have to pin the champion or Roman Reigns. Braun Strowman's out in the middle of the ring. He took a couple finishers. Everybody's out. 1, 2, 3.
So wrestling fans, if you want to take home a little bit of Bray Wyatt or Way Wyatt, as Tony calls Bray, we got the collectibles right on this set. And on eBay, we have a WrestleMania 36 weekend Bray 8x10, just the 8x10.
What do you think of his entrance?
I love it.
I love his entrance.
Love it.
What'd you think of the belt they were trying to hustle people out for, like $2,000?
I really like that, too.
You like that custom belt? I hated it.
They have a $6,000 one they sell now.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, it's 6,000. I don't know. I thought it was 2,000. Whatever it is. 6,000.
You know, WWE sent, I think you were here for it. WWE sent Baby Marathi that blue belt for his birthday.
Oh, I think you told me about that at the hotel.
Those go for, I think, maybe not quite 500, but it was about 450, I think.
I think it's something like that. And then plus the shipping.
It's nice to have friends.
Sucks there's no fans for this entrance.
I like the little urn, too. Well, not the urn, the
lantern.
Lantern.
With his face on it. It's pretty cool. I think they're selling those, too. I think those are what?
Those are about 100.
Yeah.
I think WWE should bring back Jed Coulter. I think that, again, is the Tony Atlas pronunciation of our good friend Dutch Mantel Zeb Coulter, who also may be popping in on this show. I know he watches it from time to time down in the Sunshine State. We were supposed to have him with us last June, the weekend we met you, if you remember.
Yeah.
Before he took ill.
And
he was hospitalized, yeah.
And even though we still can't figure out how you recognized me.
I recognized you somehow from some way, from somewhere, but maybe it was in the future. I don't know.
Maybe it's that deja vu that they say comes from a pastor, previous life. Oh, that's cool right there with the different screens and stuff.
Fans, I'll say this, along with the autographed Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt memorabilia on this great set, as part of our T-shirt fundraiser, the link at the top of the chat, we have brand new Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns t-shirts for the same price as a regular WWE shirt. On WWEshop.com, you get the shirt, you get a WWE cup, you get an autographed photo, and you get a shout out from Tony Atlas on air. Not a bad deal.
Why'd the bell ring? All three competitors aren't in the ring.
Thoughtless booking.
And the ref is reffing this match as if...
And Roman's theme song will probably play as opposed to him just running out and not wanting the match to end.
Yeah. This makes no sense. I love when matches start like this where guys just, go at each other.
Who do you guys got tonight? Who's leaving as champion? Who wants it most tonight, baby?
Ooh.
Live in the Thunderdome. We're on pins and needles.
Sister Abigail won.
Wouldn't it be funny if they just ended it before Roman came out? Now, that would be a unique finish.
But it wouldn't make sense, though, because all three competitors have to be in the ring for the match to start.
Well, they didn't ask my opinion, believe it or not.
But then when I give mine, I guess it's,
The gold is on the line.
Where did the announcers go? All right, I'm really confused. They haven't mentioned Roman Reigns once on it.
Jay Fleming thinks Retribution will get involved and there'll be no winner. That could be a nice, cheap way out of it.
Oh, it's a triple threat. No holds barred triple threat match, whatever that means. And so even if Retribution, that would be a way for Otis to cash in. Retribution takes out everybody. Otis comes out.
This lonely little Alexa looking for some love and not being thrown around like a piece of trash.
That'd be a good way for Otis to cash in, right?
Yeah, if Retribution, my thought was if the ring imploded or something like that, that could be the same thing.
Uranagi through the announce table. But
yeah.
Oh, God, this hammer again. Oh, God. This is what pissed people off at Hell in a Cell last year. And the Hell in a Cell poster from last year. Signed by Bray Wyatt. But...
Oh, yeah.
What the... So is Roman Reigns dead or something?
This just defies common sense. At what point does Roman Reigns not know what's going on backstage and come out to stop the match from ending without his participation? Did we miss something, fans, that happened to Roman Reigns on TV to explain his absence?
I mean, there wasn't anything on screen that would have...
Now, the fans have got some great ideas on here. Otis cashes in but still loses. I think that's the way it should go. Roman is with Retribution. He's the leader. Wouldn't that be something?
This is... And the announcers aren't even mentioning Roman. What, did they just change this to a singles match last minute? Because Braun ran in the ring. They rang the bell. Didn't even introduce them. Announcers haven't said anything. Unless Roman's having them beat each other up, he comes in, hits a spear, and wins.
Do you think he could be with Retribution?
But then why would he be paired with Heyman? And why would Heyman want Retribution?
You think I can explain this?
I'm doing the thing that Vince does, the punching the holes in it.
We've given it more thought than they have, I think.
Oh. I just want to see where this goes. If they just have Roman run down and hit a spear and it If Heyman was out of the picture, then I would say, you know what? Reigns might be running Retribution. But then what motive would he have to be behind it? You know what I mean? He goes in and grab the steps. There we go. Oh, God. What do you think of this? Roman not coming out?
I think I'm ready for it to end. But you know what? I was pretty much ready to say that before it began. This was the one match I was really looking forward to, and it is underwhelming so far. But you never know. It could have a great ending.
They're going towards the ramp. You know Roman's going to come out right when they're at the top of the ramp.
Spear them both, baby.
Yeah. But that's, I don't know. There's just not much to say about it. It's
Maria wants Roman as a full-blown heel.
Fully blown.
Jay Fleming thinks Russo is writing it.
At this point,
No, we just broke his neck, ladies and gentlemen.
At this point, anybody could be booking it.
We got some of those masks out in the warehouse. We should have put those out.
I like those masks. It's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Oof.
I don't know if kids are going to be able to go trick-or-treating this year, but I bet that would have been a good costume for kids.
What about virtual trick-or-treating?
I don't know about that.
You don't think that'll work?
Virtual trick-or-treating? I don't know how you give a kid virtual candy.
Well, you know who does virtual trick-or-treating?
Who?
The Velveteen Dream.
Well, he's got. I know he's got a lot of treats to give the
youngsters.
kiddos. Yeah.
Oof.
He'd never trick them though. He's a high-quality individual.
So they're just going to keep fighting with no Roman?
I keep thinking we missed something while we were talking or pitching merchandise.
I looked through Twitter and it says,
for you guys that are watching the pay-per-view, did we miss something with Roman earlier on tonight?
Someone said, how much of a heel would Reigns be if he comes out at the very end to pin Strowman? I'm not even going to read the second half.
Well, I hope you guys will decide to join us for an AEW watch-along this coming Saturday night. AEW
All Out.
All Out, one of my favorites. And then we'll be back Sunday night, September the 27th, live for a Clash of Champions watch-along, followed by Brutus, Beefcake, and I shooting on the year WWF 1988. Probably Brutus's biggest year as a single. We'll also be back every Tuesday night with the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Every Thursday night at 9 p.m., it's Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty Jannetty. If you are a Patreon subscriber, you can see the Brutus Beefcake episode that airs tonight now, along with this Tuesday and next Tuesday, September 8th. Tony Atlas Wrestling Insider. 3 early access episodes. Marty Jannetty's new Wrestling Insiders should be available to Patreon members probably tomorrow night. So a lot to look forward to. We also have new episodes coming up with Vicky Guerrero, Demolition Axe, Demolition Smash, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion TJP. We have new Iron Sheik DVDs that will be streaming on the Patreon. So a lot to look forward to. Again, being able to help wrestling legends for less than what a coffee at Starbucks costs. That's a great thing to do, in my humble opinion. But we can't do it without you, baby. We're like PBS.
What do you think Roman's doing right now?
Maybe he's giving himself the Lanny Poffo treatment. I really don't know. I don't know what would prevent the man from not coming out for a world title match, unless maybe someone attacked him in the back.
No, I've been watching the whole time. They did it.
Wrestling fans, I said this before we went on the air. And this is live. I had no idea this was going to happen.
This is what, the third time they did it? What the?
Oh, yeah. Taga.
Is it the?
Taga.
Oh God.
Well, maybe Roman knew this was going to happen. He's got the chair. He said, let these two beat the hell out of each other. I'll wait till the end. Or maybe he didn't come out because he didn't
just
sign the
signed it.
contract. All right, well, a little more logic.
Oh, they were probably saying during the show he didn't sign the contract yet.
Well, fans at home, we can't have the sound up too loud because of copyright reasons. So
I get it now. They said he didn't sign the contract. Oh, if he pins him, I swear.
someone's texting me to complain. Let's see. MWF Superstar right now. No, Strowman kicks out. Who's going to leave Orlando with the not so gold tonight? I can't see Roman losing, and I don't think Bray Wyatt should lose. And Braun Strowman just got pinned last week. And Otis definitely shouldn't win.
No, not at this point.
And I've seen enough of Retribution. WWE does not do a good job in getting factions over. Multiple people at once.
Nexus wasn't that bad, I think.
And they were done in with, what, 6 months?
But that's good, though.
No, that's not good. That's awful.
They're rookies.
They had no longevity.
Because they're rookies.
Doesn't make a difference.
You're going to have your rookies come in and run the show?
Does it happen in other sports when the rookies come in, get hot, and become one of the one of the faces of the league? Not every rookie should come up and go undefeated, no. But should you have ones that you think could be top-tier players? Absolutely.
That's fine. And that's what they did. They picked the ones that they thought were going to be the top guys, and they released the others.
And none of them got over.
Wade
Daniel Bryan, I guess you could say, but he kind of got tossed.
And, oh, here we go. It was the obvious pick.
I would have done a double disqualification. If I knew this was going to be the finish, they should have done a double DQ last week and not change the title twice.
Yeah.
My opinion. I think Roman's the right guy to be the champion, but I just don't think Fiend should lose.
I would have just had Roman do a run-in last week and have him mess it up and then do the triple threat this week and then have him win it.
Yeah, I think maybe they should have put McIntyre on last at SummerSlam and have them go on second to last and just do a double DQ. Have Roman run out with the chair.
If you're going to have Roman come back, you got to have that finish the show.
Well, I wouldn't have changed the title twice in 2 weeks.
Roman's the top guy. Not in my views, but for them, he's their tip-top guy. Look at Charles Robinson.
I just can't get over the fact that when you were having your Domino's pizza, this was my great idea. And look at what happened.
Well,
all we need is Otis now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So how long do you think Roman holds it for?
I wouldn't have him lose it for a long
Mania?
Long time.
I hate triple.
Well, did you guys like the main event? Smokey, Dan, your thoughts on Shawn Michaels? I think match for match, year for year, Shawn Michaels is the best of all time. And in my interactions with him, a good guy. I know a lot of people don't like him. And that's it for Payback, folks. I feel like I deserve a little payback for having to sit through it.
That was an awful show. the wrestling itself is good. The booking doesn't make sense.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you have just given that show?
4.
I'm going to ask you guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you watch Payback, give me a number. What would you, up and down, top to bottom, would you give it? 10 being the best, 1 the worst. Maria gives it a 7. Jay Fleming a 3. Rick a 2. What did you say, 4?
I said 4. Because the wrestling content was good. Like the wrestling itself was good. But the thing is, we were talking at the same time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really watching consistently. So the stuff that I saw when I was watching was good, but there was nothing overly memorable.
Big J a hard 6. Hakimi a 4. I'm like a 5 because there wasn't anything that I thought was really bad other than the pre-show match sucked. But other than that, it wasn't horrible. I'd probably say 5 just because there really wasn't anything any good. And now here on WWE Network, we have the day of SummerSlam 2015. I don't know. Lackluster overall. I have no idea why they had the need to have this pay-per-view.
Not at all.
I don't know if the thought process was maybe they'd try and take a little sizzle out of the sales of AEW next weekend, but
no, they wanted to get the network numbers up because they brought back the if you sign up you get the first month free, and they brought it back for August.
But they're only doing that for the people that have unsubscribed. If you go to WWE Network now,
they're trying to pop up the networks.
So the thought was by giving people 2 pay-per-views, it would increase?
That they would sign up and get the free month.
But there's no free month unless you unsubscribe.
I know that, but they're trying to get more subscribers because the subscriber numbers, they were down. And they're only offering the free month every so often to make it feel special. Because if you're offering it every single month, it doesn't feel that special.
There's nothing that feels special about this.
I know that, but
I get you. I'm breaking your balls.
They're trying to make it seem like that.
Did you guys find anything special about this show? Hakami says the show is too predictable. Tie heel Ted, that
is predictable.
sucked.
As I said before, Roman was the obvious pick the whole night. But
I thought so too. I just don't think Bray Wyatt should lose with that gimmick. There's a reason why Undertaker was so successful.
That's why I don't predict. Like, what I truly want is not how I predict. I predict how they think. And that's why I thought Roman was going to win, because there's no way you're going to pair him with Heyman, make him look so strong last Sunday by taking both of them out with the title over his head, then you're going to have him lose against them. Doesn't make sense. But the thing that I don't like is Strowman taking another pin. I know you didn't want to pin the Fiend, but still, Strowman takes another pin for the second time on a pay-per-view. So now he looks like shit after you just reinvented him, gave him a little, uptick. It doesn't look that good. And then you have Roman come in 3/4 through the match. It doesn't look that good. You have him come in late in the match, just randomly signs a contract and walks in. If he doesn't sign the contract when the bell starts, then it's a singles match to me. If you're going to sign it through 3/4 of the match and just run in and start wrestling, then what's the booking for? If there's going to be a contract signing between me and you for Hell in a Cell, and you walk out to the ring and I didn't sign it yet, it's forfeiture. Once that bell rings, you're counted out. You're Dunsky.
Dunsky.
You're done. That's it.
I don't think anybody here really liked it. I'm going through these. I think 6. Did we see a number better than a 6 from Big J? Oh, no. Maria, you liked it. You gave it a 7. I got to give it a 5. There was nothing really bad. There was just nothing that said it was good or pay-per-view worthy. Maybe it wouldn't have been a bad Raw or a SmackDown. I don't know. I just wish I could look forward to these events again and not be so disappointed when I watch them. But nonetheless, wrestling fans, I'm going to guess, is that the time cue to go? Don't forget, tonight at 11 o'clock, Brutus, the Barber Beefcake, is going to join us in studio where we remember the late, great Ugandan giant Kamala and talk about some of the issues that wrestling veterans face. In addition to that, Tuesday night at 9, Tony Atlas and I remember Bullet Bob Armstrong, the father of Road Dogg, and the entire Armstrong brothers. Thursday night, we're back with Marty Jannetty at 9 p.m. to Party with Marty. We have a brand new weekly show starting in the month of September. I look forward to telling you about that. We have another wrestling and legend that hopes to join us in September for the very first time in this studio. I know Matt wants to do a regular show. He's going to be back next Saturday for AEW All Out.
Oh,
Dave Carter, I know, Little Cena up in New Hampshire. He's ready to come back down. Maybe we'll have a new show 7 days a week. I don't know if my brain could handle that, but we'll try. One of the two of us needs to get up and shut the stream off.
Well,
do you know how to do it?
Because I haven't gotten up in, a while.
You are guest. You are guest.
Yeah, guest signing out.
Don't forget, fans, I'm going to put the link up. We got that great deal on the T-shirt. We got the T-shirt bundle fundraiser. Let me get the link up before you disconnect, brother. We got the super chat going. I hope you guys are going to join us at 11 o'clock tonight because we're going to have a lot of fun. I want to know what you guys think of Brutus Beefcake. It's very important to me. Maybe someday I'll tell you why. And it's also very important that you tell all your friends and family about our great shows. If you haven't, give us a thumbs up on tonight. The Patreon gives you early access to Tony's episodes. Now, I guarantee you, you'll have more fun than watching Payback. Did I say that out loud? Ollie, it was a pleasure to meet you, brother. We'll see you at 11 o'clock with Brutus Beefcake. Let me know. Give me the countdown, brother, when we're going off the air.
3,
2, 1. Be well, stay healthy.